please. Please let me go live. Let me go live now, please. There we go. It's like, can I get my 30% of all the donations and memberships back? If you're not going to let me go live, please. Testing, testing. How we doing, everybody? How we feeling? Man. I'm kind of having what I'm like post-traumatic Nintendo Direct kind of vibe. It started when I started reading more news about Nintendo Switch 2 stuff while I was getting my crown fixed. Oh, I'm sorry, Nicole. We have some top ramen. Do you want me to fling that out? It's cost you a lot of money. Go get some noodles. Noodles sound good right now. We're in between storm warnings, so let's go. And we're back playing more Apollo Justice Ace Attorney trilogy. We're starting the final, right? It's the final one, right? Yeah. That's so, I mean, God, 2 and 3 were so big that, like, I guess it kind of makes sense, but I'm like, it's so weird. It's like, oh yeah, episode 4, the ending. But yeah, we're starting Turnabout Succession, the final case of Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. I better get me some damn answers soon. So far, every case has had something I really, really liked, like an added twist or a change of the formula, and then also something I didn't. But I've been really enjoying adding to the world. I'm like waiting with bated breath for the Phoenix Wright storyline to, I guess, sync with the Apollo Justice stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I hope you've been having fun. I still have been. Yeah, make some noise. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Consider donating or becoming a member, especially if you want me to do the other 2 Ace Attorney games. Still haven't gotten that bribe to skip to game 2, so I guess we're just gonna keep going with game 1. But yeah, typically, I like to space out what I'm doing in Anthology, just so it doesn't like only appeal to one corner of the audience, right? But channel members help me pick games and get access to members only streams and custom emojis and polls and perks and little videos and gaming experiments galore. So consider becoming a member. But if you don't want to, you can't. You're helping out by hanging out. Just make sure you're clicking, commenting, sharing. Let them know. You know, tell your Reddits, tell your Discords. Oh my God, this guy's a genius. Not to put words in your mouth, but something like that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this is, like I said, gonna sync up. Because it was kind of the same problem I had with playing the Phoenix Wright trilogy. I love all the artwork now that I'm done with it, but there was something kind of lightly spoilery about some of the artwork in the trilogy pack, as well as like, oh no, Maya. And I'm like, right, well, there's a 3rd game, so Maya's good. I think Maya's gonna be fine. I feel a little less like that, but like every time I boot this up, it's like there's Phoenix in full garb, right? Choose You Too, thank you for the 10. So ready for some lore TM. Hope you and Alon are doing all right. Thank you, Choose You Too. We are doing almost okay. Thank you for the $10 donation, Choose You Too, at thethirdbill.com. There's also Ace Attorney inspired merch there. Speaking of the Phoenix Wright trilogy. But yeah, it's like every time I boot it up, it's like there's Phoenix Wright in his clothes. And I'm like, cool. When does that happen? And I wish I wasn't thinking that way. Because I have been enjoying getting to know new characters, as well as starting to question the court system has been a big thing that's been popping up a lot. And I'm waiting to see Phoenix Wright pull the rest of his puppeteer strings as we question the whole system that's crumbling around us. But yeah, anyway, hope y'all are doing good. Thank you everyone who's been checking out my little Switch 2 Direct reaction highlight thing. Thank you to the members who had to emotionally and mentally hold my hand while I spiraled at the end there. But I wanted to share it, just to kind of see what that would do, but also I feel like while I was brooding in my frustration at like all the pricing stuff and the upgrade stuff and the stream key instead of a physical game and like everything that was getting me really mad, I'm like, you know what? The more clips online of people expressing this, the better. So I'm glad some people have been clicking on it, but it's kind of just up just to add to that online discourse in the hopes that something can shift in the future. But we're back where we're safe with Sony PlayStation, and they've never, ever steered us wrong before. Neither has Capcom, my beloved, my best friend. Chat, I need you to make these streams blow up so I can be a Capcom ambassador. And maybe then they'll put me in an Ace Attorney, and I can get Resident Evils, and I can get the jewelry that they discontinued, and the necklace. Come on. I feel like I would be a great ambassador for Capcom, especially on the Ace Attorney side of things. Obviously, you'd be able to eat it, yes. It'd be like a ring pop. You can wear it, or you can eat it. Okay. We stalled long enough for people to know that I'm live. Sorry I haven't been on social media much this week. This week's been bad. Like, there's been so much construction in my stupid apartment building and grown-up things I have to do. But we're here now. Take me away, anime hotties. I always have to double check I'm not, like, deleting something. Yes. Should that be the incentive? 10,000 subscribers and... Oh, I'll try to eat a necklace. And that is the whole truth of this case. Whoa, hello? Oh my god, we're in the Matrix. Oh my god, I'm in the hospital? Oh my god, I'm dead. What? In order to understand it myself, I had to know the story of these last 7 long years. Chat, are we AI? Nothing happens by chance. All is connected. Hamilton. Whoa, what the hell? Is that what happened to Trucy's parents? And now, you stand ready to begin the final chapter of this story. Oh my god, have we been in a simulation this whole time? I didn't even get to say if I would smash or not. Oh no. F in the chat. Will the defendant be found guilty or innocent? The decision is yours. Whoa! But we put him in jail in the tutorial. What the hell was that? Is any of this for real or not? How was the audio for that? We good? Oh, then retracted. Well, I thought it was Trucy's mom, so I was like, oh, smash. Hey, Trucy, I wasn't talking about whether or not I'm not theorizing about whether or not your mom's gonna be hot. Hey, Apollo, look on TV. Look. Yeah, kind of busy. Is anyone gonna do something about that spaghetti? Well, look at that. He's the last Grandma Yay, all right. Amazing. Apollo, you should be watching this. Ow, ow, ow. What? I was writing about our last case in my journal while pretending I'm a computer. Chat, is Apollo Justice an android? It's like the one thing we're missing from this whole thing is someone being a robot. I was writing about our last case in my journal. Lawyers are supposed to write things in records, Apollo, not journals. And why now? That case was 3 months ago. Hey, it's a long story. I did a lot, you know? I want to vacuum pack the feel of the moment for later. Right now, I'm wowing the crowd by figuring out how Lumiere disappeared. That's right. Uncle Valen did that illusion too. But you're missing him on TV right now. I was just getting to the good part. The part where Bill did all those perfect voices and guessed everything correctly and never failed once. I suppose I should watch a little TV with her. After all, her father's expecting me to look after her while he's away. No, where is he?
What you're saying now is a rehearsal of the greatest magic show on Earth. Happening right here at our very own Sunshine Coliseum.
The Sunshine Coliseum? Hey, that's where the Gaviners concert was. Remember that? Apollo, why are you acting like we're already in a second game?
Only 3 more days until miracles happen here, right before your unbelieving eyes.
Okay, am I allowed to say it now? Am I allowed? Am I allowed to weigh in here? $20. I'm charging $20.
The legendary troupe, Grandma Ye, is performing for the first time in 7 years.
That's gonna be great. I'm so there. You and Daddy are coming too. The legendary Grandma Ye's. If Trucy's real father were still alive, he'd be on that stage performing miracles. The Mind Freak. I've got the tickets and everything. Here's yours, Apollo. Why did I put this in my evidence pocket? Whoa, $70? What? Oh yeah, this was before Ticketmaster. What a better world. Ah, you're here. Working hard or hardly working? I'll never get over that he looks like me. Even before the button and the hat shift. Hey, have you been? Hi there, stranger. Not exactly the kind of greeting I'd want to hear from my own kid. Though he has been gone a long time. How's it going, Trucy? Here, I got a present for you. Yay, pudding! I love pudding. Oh, it's farm fresh. Farm fresh pudding? Also, Capcom, stop watching my life. I've been eating a lot of pudding because I had to wait for my crown to get fixed. It's farm fresh. And not just one pudding, but 3 whole cups. I'll have to pace myself. Well, I'm beat. That's right, Daddy. You're on a top secret mission. You gotta take it easy with the secrets, you know. All right, you are. So you still can't tell us what your mission is? Maybe it is time. It has something to do with you anyway. Huh? With me? Ow, maybe you're getting a top secret mission too. Maybe you can be one of those guys. Well, I was going to say the name of that kind of agent, but, you know, Jeff Bezos owns it now. Apparently he's writing fanfic about how 007 is his son. A spy. Can't I just be a defense attorney? To be honest, telling you about the mission was my whole reason for coming here today. What? Tell me, you've heard of the... Are we... Wait, we're redoing everything? Are we tearing down the system of? You've heard of the jurist system, right? No, I'm Apollo Justice. That's just it, Apollo. Your real name, or rather, how it's really pronounced. You're Apollo Jurist. The jurist system? Doesn't that just make about a dozen guys angry? We did it. We found the joke. Thank you, everybody. What's that, chat? Good one? Haha. King, stop. I'm laughing so hard I'm about to pee. That's right. The new legal system everyone's talking about. Have you heard of it, Apollo? Huh? Maybe. Aren't you an active defense attorney? You should know this shit. Maybe not as many people are talking about it as I thought. The jurist system, huh? So, Daddy, what's this jurist system thing? Well, Trucy, do you know what a jury is? I've heard of it. In plays and storybooks. like that new live-action remake of Snow White and the Seven Summons. It still didn't do well financially, even in this universe. Because everyone's tired of that shit. I've heard of it. Isn't that those people who sit in court in those old courtroom dramas? The ones who get to decide if a guy's innocent or guilty? Do you know, Apollo? only from TV and a play I was in high school. It's 12 people chosen from the community, right? Well, they're thinking about reviving that system. They're calling the new system the jurist system. No more doing whatever you like, Your Honor. What? I guess that would alleviate... Because, yeah, we did talk about how we need, like, evidence beyond a shadow of a doubt. Like, even though all the facts are pointing to it, it needs to be, like, absolute. I think I'm following the logic here. No more doing whatever you like, Your Honor. Not quite that harsh. The jurists cooperate with the judge. They help analyze the case from different angles. Ah, and there will be only 6 of them under the current proposal, right? Wow, you know your stuff, Apollo. Guess I better change the name of this play to 6 Angry Man. Good one again, King. Stop. It hurts so hard to laugh. Thank you, chat. Their findings directly affect the verdict. Hopefully, people will start taking the courts a little more seriously now. Hopefully, people will just, you know, tone it down on the massive amounts of crime that happen in this area. I feel like I'm on some kind of educational TV show. I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, it's a long, long journey to the capital city. Remember when that used to be how we did things? Starring Dr. Wright. Dr. Wright, his assistant Trucy, and mascot Apollo. The perfect team. Hey! Am I the mascot? I'm the Blue Badger. So what is this secret mission? The jurist system is my mission, more or less. Anyway, keep in mind that new ideas like the system are always risky, Apollo. Too true. Everyone's got an opinion, and they just talk, and nothing gets decided. Like my favorite YouTuber, the Third Bill, and my favorite streamer on Bill Chill Gaming. He just yak, but then I keep donating, hoping that will shut him up. You know what? Yeah. Let's get to 1,000 channel members, and I'll just shut the hell up. How about that? Someone gives 1,000 members. Please shut the hell up. Kind of like you, Apollo. I'm not that bad, am I? In any case, we're going to give it a shot. A test, if you will. I don't like tests. We'll take a case. What? We'll take a case as a sample and choose 6 jurists. But like a already finished case? I'll be the one helping with that process, incidentally. Helping how? Well, for one, I'll be chair of the Jurist System Simulated Court Committee. The chair constructs the ideal situation, choosing the case, The chair constructs the ideal situation, choosing the case, the jurist candidates, even the judge in the courtroom. Wow, it's like you have a real job. I was never that good at the piano, to be honest. Once a lawyer, always a lawyer, I guess. Do we help him get his badge back? We've got to, right? Because again, all the artwork that pops up when I load the game. The trial's tomorrow, by the way. Don't miss it. The trial simulation, that is. A simulation, huh? Sounds interesting. So, what kind of case is the trial simulation about? The DL6 incident. Let's fucking go. Well, since it is the first run-through of a new system, I wanted something simple and clean. Good thinking. No sense wearing yourself out on something too serious. True. The case is a murder. That's not simple nor clean. By simple and clean, did you mean that the defendant is guilty? Yeah, most likely. So, good luck, Apollo. With what? With the trial tomorrow. You're defending, of course. Recall that I said it had something to do with you? Go for it, Apollo. It's just a test case anyway, no sweat. Yeah, but there's still a verdict to be decided. And I've gotten rather fond of my perfect win record. Uh-oh. And a potentially serious sentence. The most serious in a worst-case scenario. Ah, you mean the verdict's for real? That's not a test trial, that's a trial. All the forms have been filed. There's no turning back now. The trial begins tomorrow at 10 a.m. Hope you can make room in your schedule. Well, why am I only hearing about this now? Ah, yes, there was a change this morning. I picked a new case. Huh? Something that happened last night. You son of a bitch, what happened last night? Hey, Apollo, I know you're all excited about that secret mission, but what about this? The Troop Grand Marnier Grand Magic Show. Huh? Oh, right. The card tricks. They're not card tricks. It's called Duel Monsters, and they play shadow games. They're grand illusions, miracles, the apocalypse, heaven, and wait, what? That's 3 whole days from now. It's at Sunshine Coliseum. Let's go today. We could say hi to Uncle Villan. Have fun. What? I can't go by myself. You know I'm not very outgoing. Right. Why not go with her? But what about the secret mission? Oh, don't worry about that. You'll hear all about it tomorrow regardless. I don't trust that smile. He knows something that he's not telling me. Wow, is this what it's like to be you guys, chat? I don't trust that beanied man. He knows everything. Yippee, now you can take me to the Coliseum. I suppose it wouldn't kill me to pop over there. Ah, Grand Marnier. That reminds me. What's this, Daddy? Isn't that silk hat the Grand Marnier seal? Consider it a birthday present, Trucy. Thanks, it's great. But today isn't my birthday. Good point. Yoink, Ticketmaster it is. What day is it today, Apollo? Huh? Today? I think it's Recycle Your Plastics Day. Then it's a Recycle Your Plastics present. Yippee! So it's plastic! Haha, I'm gonna save the world! I've given up trying to understand them. It's much easier that way. It's sweet! Apollo, the secret is there is no secret ingredient. You just believe in yourself. Oh my god, Phoenix Wright is Kung Fu Panda. So, what is it? Can I open it, Daddy? No. No. Wow, he looks serious. No. Huh? You'll need that envelope someday. Someday soon. Don't open it until then. Alright, my dad just totally killed someone and handed me important evidence. Well, why didn't you just hold on to it until then? Because that would be the logical thing to do. Do not open until the time is right. Huh? Get it? Till the time is Phoenix. An envelope about the Grand Marniers, huh? Alright, so what case are you going to use? You really want to know, don't you? Of course I do. I mean, I'm going to be defending, aren't I? If all goes well, then yeah, of course, this is just a test. We wanted everyone to start without preconceptions. A blank slate, as it were. There's a difference between having a blank slate and just being totally clueless. Whose dumb idea was that anyway? Well, mine. Committee chair. Remember? Oh. And what a befitting throne it is, King. Well, if you want to know that badly, I suppose I could give you permission to examine the scene of the crime. Good. That's better. But you can't talk to anyone involved with the case. What? Then how am I supposed to defend? You let me worry about the details there. For now, I place you face down in attack mode, Apollo. Remember, I'm in charge of this trial. All of it. No, I'm not a player. I'm a puppeteer. But you don't want it to backfire, do you? Oh, man. Let's scoot your booch, huh? I'm leaning back, being good to my spine. There we go. But you don't want it to backfire, do you? Apollo, if I am in charge of the whole trial, that means the entire affair is my responsibility, for good or for bad. Da-ding? Just do what you can. Don't worry. I know what I'm doing. Alright. You're doing that thumbnail face. Can we get a good job me for putting that in the thumbnail? Alright. I'd recommend going down to the detention center. Your client's waiting for you. You can ask about the scene there. But you just said I couldn't talk to anyone involved? Oh, you can talk to your client. If you can get her to talk. Well, time's a wasting. I don't trust you, anime me. October 7th, detention center, visitors room. That's 20 minutes we've been waiting here. 20 minutes. Maybe I should complain? Do I speak to the manager? Is that right? I'm sure the guard has better things to do than just stand there pretending he doesn't see us. Yep, that's 15 ceiling tiles. Yep. You know, the minute we get angry, the client will show. It always works that way. Like shouting, "Oh, waiter," and they're standing right behind you. "Oh, guard." Is our client going to be much longer? What are you talking about? Haven't you already started the meeting yet? Huh? Oh my god. Ah! What? Where'd you come from? Do the sprites get up and move around? And why do you have Pegasus Stole My Soul eyes? Well, anyway, please have a seat. So you draw stuff? I'm nervous, Apollo. It's the silence. It builds suspense. Why don't you do something, Trucy? You're a magician, aren't you? That's right. Okay. Mr. Hat! I'm the amazing Mr. Hat! Ah, I mind freaked her too hard. She passed out. Miss Magic. I really don't want to think about that part, Apollo. Thank you. Might have been a better bet. That's magic. Come on, guys. Magic stuff. Salutations. What? Salutations. That's my fancy way of saying hello. Write that down. Hi. Well, I'm your defense. I really think it has to be fate. You know, what? What are we getting at? Fate, you know? And by fate, I mean destiny. Did you know I'm good with astrology? Tell me, what's your sign? You like jazz? Chat, help. I could tell you mine if you'd like, Apollo. No, never mind. I just kind of got carried away there. I seem destined to get difficult clients, it seems. What the hell? Apollo, you are working. So... what's your name? Oh, right. I'm supposed to introduce myself first. I'm Apollo. Apollo Justice. That's a real name, by the way. And I'm Trucy Rd. I know. This is getting nowhere fast. Hey, I know. Maybe you can tell us what happened? I'm your defense attorney, after all. Anything out of the ordinary happen lately? What's that? You won't talk to me unless everyone donates and becomes a member. Well, the other day, this tourist from out of town stopped to ask me directions. Later, Trucy. I feel like I need to ask directions myself here. Well, that was fruitless. Though I think I understand despair a little better now. You did good, Apollo. Oh my god, she's a fan. Hand stuff reference? Look, she's doing her nails. What? Wait, it's a whole separate... I don't understand now the picture. Are nails more important than defense? Is that it? Let's go, Trucy. Oh, shit. Excuse me. Da-ding. Could you read this? Sure. The music is what saved us. I feel like a teenager on a first date. In the car. I just can't wait. And this is the love letter we passed from desk to desk at school. Stop looking so wistful and read it, Apollo. It's a business card with a name and an address. The name is Vera Misham. Misham? Misham. Vera Misham. The address is for Drew Studio. And you're giving me this card because... Well, looks like we're finished here. I wonder if Drew Studio is the scene of the crime. Let's go find out. Could we maybe get her like a quick therapist or something? Someone to talk to? No? Wow, real art. How antiquated. Wow, this looks like... It looks like a studio. It's like life imitating art, or maybe it's the other way around. But the tape on the ground there, it's a bit jarring. Yeah, looks like we found our crime scene. Apollo, look at all those paintings. Hey, don't touch those. It's okay, I'm just looking, and I canonically always wear gloves. Gordy. Huh? Apollo, look at this one. It looks half finished. You can still see the rough sketch underneath. But that's odd. The rough part doesn't look like the rest of the painting at all. Yeah, good point. That is odd. Drew Bishop's painting added to the court record. All the paintings have a really different style, too. Emma? Ah, I thought I might find you two here. Nailed it! Oh my god, your king never misses. Praise me. Emma! Long time no see. Oh? Seems like I run into you far too often. Almost like it's, I don't know, destiny or something. I'll bet I know why you're here, too. You know about the trial simulation tomorrow. You know about the trial simulation tomorrow? I've heard about it, sure. So Mr. Wright chose you, huh? We don't even know what the case is about. Well, he was killed. Well, goodbye. He was killed. The artist who owns the studio, that is. Did he just canonically always have paint stains? Mr. Drew Misham. Misham. And his daughter was put under arrest. Yeah, we just saw her at the detention center. It was funny, though. She seemed more like a victim than the kind of person who could commit murder. You don't say. Not even by poisoning? That's how it was done, you know. Poisoning's a common way to get the job done when the murder's a woman. Ladies, let me tell you a little something about other ways to kill. I think I know a little something about... It doesn't work. You can't see me spreading out. Bill, why'd you lean back weirdly? Poisoning's a common way to get the job done when the murderer is a woman. But poisoning? Anyway, Mr. Wright told me you'd be coming. Oh, was that a little nod to Dahlia? Right? And the necklace of destiny? The blue raspberry necklace? Anyway, Mr. Wright told me you'd be coming. Feel free to take a look around. I'll just be over here with my snackoos. All alone. No one asking me about my astrological sign. We can't talk to anyone related to the case this time around. Which means we'd better find out as much as we can here at the scene. Or else. Ooh, 2 things. Okay, Ooh, there's a painting hidden back here. Hey! There's a painting hidden back here. Oh my god. I'm predicting the dialogue. I'm the mind freak. Turns out Bill's not smart at all. He's just gifted with magic. I lose all subscribers and members. You're just magic. You're not good at analyzing story or predicting themes or characters. You don't have media literacy. You're just some type of sorcerer. There's a painting hidden back there. Hey, you're right. What if it's embarrassing somehow and he didn't want anyone to see it? Trucy, turn around. I'm going to make sure it's not a nude. You certainly seem pleased by the possibility. Huh. It's so normal. I feel like we just saw this. That's hardly something to get mad about. Huh? What is it, Apollo? Doesn't this painting look like... Never mind. Dang. I'd better get a professional opinion on this. Why don't we just look at them side by side in the court record real quick, eh? Coffee? Ah, that's the victim's coffee mug. Aha! So the poison was in here. This is my first time seeing a real poison mug of coffee. I would hope so. Emma, it's hardly my first poison cup of coffee. Remember what I said about women and what they do to murder? Poison coffee? Not exactly, actually. What do you mean? No traces of poison were found in the coffee. What? You'll have to figure out the rest yourself. I'm officially not on your side, after all. Yeah, that'll get him to write fanfic and fan arts. Now I'm like picturing like say this is like a real scripted like show as opposed to like a drafted game or animated thing, and it's like the pressure is on from the studio to like get audiences to ship these characters together. We're gonna get a second Wrightworth. Think of all the extra t-shirts we could sell. I imagine this coffee cup was for guests to use. Guests? Did the police already analyze this cup too? Not a trace of poison was found on that cup. So the killer was after Drew Misham alone. Whew. That letterbox looks funny sitting inside a room like this. And it's full of all these bad takes on movies. 1 star, too much pink in the Barbie movie. 5 stars, Oppenheimer goatee. What would be a more... 5 stars, Dune Part 2 should have won Best Picture. Let's take a look. Empty. The other half of that letterbox is actually connected to the outside of the studio. Mr. Misham, that's going to be hard to say in different voices. Mr. Misham would put his letters in here, and the postman took them away. Impressive that someone still writes letters in this day and age. Or wrote, rather. RIP. What else should I be clicking on? Oh, I thought we already did that. I wouldn't mind taking a closer look at those paintings on those easels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just did it again. I just love oils, especially mixed with some vinegar and some good bread. You just dip it in. Trucy, I think I found out how you're going to get poisoned. I just love oils. You know how they're so thick? Is that the word? Thick? These paintings are all dry. I'm just surprised at how different these all are. Yeah, what's going on with this half-finished one? Must have been a work in progress. You can still see the rough sketch below. Yeah, we did all this. That's what's so weird. The sketch part doesn't really finish the finished parts. I noticed. This is weird. No, the check mark wasn't on the hand, so I just did it again. Yeah. Tiny desk. What's up? I'm directing traffic. Let's take a look at this desk here. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That's right. I did it. Something about the way that figure is posed. I'm walking in. I've seen that pose before. It's you, Apollo. See, you're making one of your flamboyant gestures. I don't like how you said flamboyant, and I'm taking it as a compliment. All the same. Please, I am a professional. I wonder why it's posed like that. Coincidence? Yeah! Objection! So this is Drew Misham. And this little girl must be Vera. Yes. They took that sometimes... They took that some years ago. They look close. A happy little family. Until you arrested his daughter. Huh? Look, I was personally against that, okay? She just didn't seem very suspicious, scientifically speaking. Uh-huh. Right. No, you're Apollo. And I'm Emma. Emma. How cute. Look at the tiny photo. Look at the tiny frame, Apollo. Tiny is right. That thing's barely 2 inches high. What picture would fit in that? None, apparently. It's empty. There's no glass in it either. What's it doing sitting on the desk? This is a lesson for us all. Be sure to check the size when you buy frames. Is this a journal? Wow, talk about a clue. Let's read it. But what is it, Apollo? He didn't write the name of the killer. He didn't write the name of the killer, did he? It's new. He didn't write a single line. What a waste. You had me going for a while there. Hey, Apollo, what's this feather thingy? Oh, it's called the Harpy's Feather Duster. It removes all magic and trap cards on your opponent's side of the field. Isn't that a pen? Like an old-fashioned quill pen? Heh. What a douche. But it doesn't have a pointy end. That was most likely for sweeping detritus off the desk. Wow, you sure know a lot, Emma. Bold and scientific. That's my motto. Exactly what about that was bold or scientific? You didn't know what it was either, Apollo. Be nice. Ooh, a letter. Wonder who it's from. This envelope has been opened and resealed. Oh, I know how to do that. You take a pot of boiling water and you hold the envelope up to the steam. The glue melts and it opens. Cool, huh? Whoever did this wasn't so delicate. You're right. Looks like they just ripped it open and stuck it back together. Huh? The postmark on this letter is from 7 years ago. Oh no, is this my family? Or Trucy's family? Who are Apollo's parents? Phoenix Wright and Miles Edgeworth. Dun, dun, dun. Is this Trucy's family? Why would someone open a letter, then seal it again? I better hang on to this. Found in the victim's desk drawer. Appears to have been opened once and resealed. So far, no one has told me that I'm wrong about my Miles Edgeworth Mpreg theory. What is all this equipment here for? Doesn't look very artistic, really. He had everything from a lathe to a laser cutter. Looks like he was ready to work on metals and wood, too. Though his equipment's a bit old, to tell the truth. Why would a painter need all this? From the dust, I'd say he hasn't used this stuff for years. This corner doesn't fit with the rest of the studio. Oh, do you think I could borrow this? I want to cut a quarter in half to make a trick coin. This is a crime scene, Trucy. Absolutely you can. But these cost like 50 bucks at the magic shop. 50 bucks for a quarter? In this economy? Is this desk for painting, Apollo? That would be a drafting table. Drafting. Basically, it's a tool for making precise diagrams. Wow, painting's harder than I thought. Why would a painter need a drafting table? Was he an architect, too? Apollo keeps complaining about how simple being an artist must be, and then suddenly he loses details and features. Look at all these paints, Apollo. There's so many. He's got like 20 kinds of red. We could repaint your suit, Apollo. How about this shade of green? That'll be enough of that, thanks. Red's the only thing I remember from my father's. I remember being born into this world and seeing red. And ascot. Eek, Apollo, that's where the body was. That's the spot where Mr. Drew Mission passed away. He put the coffee mug to his lips, and the next moment, there's quite a bit of paint on the ground. See that half-painted painting there? He must have been working on that right up to the moment he died. Wow, a true artist to the end. Maybe he started it a year ago and was procrastinating. Is there something I'm not clicking on? I was gonna say, can we talk to her? Whoop. Hey, buddy. Just normal talk first? Okay, always. I thought we were gonna go down the road of, we can't talk about this. So this Drew Mission was some kind of artist? Apparently. Did a lot of illustrations for books, I hear. Sexual books. He had a lot of female fans, too, for what it's worth. Oh? Well, I guess his stuff is kind of pretty. Like that oil painting over there, for instance. You know, The one of the wolf and the dragon making out? Yeah. That wasn't one of his illustrations, actually. Huh? So it was a standalone painting or something? Is that what she means? He was an odd bird, Misham. Hadn't shown his face to anyone until the end. What do you mean, to anyone? He was always locked up here in the studio, apparently. His only connection to the outside world was through letters he'd put in that letterbox there. Letters? Did he get poisoned via mail? Are we allowed to have content about that? Letters? Do people still write letters? What do you mean, Apollo? I mean, when was the last time you wrote a real letter? Don't most people use email and stuff these days? Not Mr. Misham. Couldn't stand technology, it seems. He did everything by mail. Maybe he thought that way was more artistic, you know? I'm trying not to say autistic in that voice, because I could feel myself skipping the R to try to like, artistic. Artistic. Those with autism can use whatever they want to use communication. It doesn't have to be letters. It doesn't have to be email. In any case, the only person besides him allowed in here was his daughter, Vera. Oh, you mean the killer? The suspect, please? We took some fingerprints, of course. The only ones found in the room were Mr. Misham's and Vera's, basically. Basically? Actually, last night, Mr. Misham gave an interview to a reporter for the first time. It happened during the interview, apparently. His first interview ever? Could you tell us a bit more about what happened the night of the murder? So this woman, Vera, she's Mr. Misham's daughter, right? Yep. A real sickly girl ever since she was little. Hardly ever went outside. What a weird way to describe someone. She did kind of give off a withdrawn sort of aura. She was homeschooled by her father, apparently. Oh. That's mean. You're allowed to be homeschooled. It's fine. That was mean. I was homeschooled for half a year because we moved. It was quite a scene when they took her to the detention center. She was screaming about how she'd die if they took her outside. Oh, it was that kind of homeschooling. That does sound like a scene. In the end, she agreed to leave if she was allowed her good luck charm for company. Her good luck charm? Apparently, she has this charm that magically gives her the courage to go outside. Why can't I ever get a normal client? But why would a shut-in daughter kill her own dad? Don't look at me. Right, because you wouldn't know anything about being homeschooled. So, about the poison, it was found to be in his coffee, right? No, not precisely. Not precisely? What does that mean? It means see for yourself, I think. But we did that. Like I said, last night was the first time someone from the outside came into the studio. I guess mysterious painters who never go outside make for good articles. And it just so happened that he died the night of his first interview? At around 9 p.m. every night, Vera always made him a cup of coffee. Last night, he drank his usual coffee and suddenly became violently ill. And Dad? She poisoned him on the night of his interview? Wouldn't the reporters see? He wasn't near Mr. Bishop when she brought her father his coffee. He was checking out some equipment in the back of the room. Supposedly, that's why she didn't notice he was there. It was the reporter who called the police, in fact. Wait, but why is she the suspect? If anyone's suspicious, it's the reporter. Yet the reporter never got near Mr. Misham's coffee. Even Vera acknowledges that. Regardless, I want to know more about this reporter I hardly. I bet Emma could help us out here. Don't forget, flattery will get you everywhere with her, Apollo. Huh? What are you two whispering about? Well, I was thinking how beautiful the fingerprint dust looks collected on your nails. I mean, what is it we always do when we run into you at a crime scene? What is it we always do scientifically. Ah, you know me too well. Oh, so you say your catchphrase at her. Okay, got it. Is that how you flirt? Learn someone's catchphrase and then repeat it back to them? Ah, you know me too well. Okay. Okay, meaning we can get scientific now? Oh, I suppose. Just this once. Bring me anything you find suspicious and we'll check it out. Hell yeah, brother. I'm assuming the paintings at some point, right? Or the mug? Oh, my bad. I'm just holding it. If only I had someone to help me look at this. Take that. So, Emma, about this coffee mug. I hope you aren't trying to grill me for information. You know I'm not talking. Suppose you are the detective here. Why don't you two take a look yourselves? If you find a clue, I might not be unwilling to lend a hand. I think she's gonna help us, Apollo. Let's check out this mug, shall we? Oh, I should needed to trust my instincts, close my eyes, and leap. The M? Oh. Hey, look there. That stain doesn't look so healthy, Apollo. That must be the Blue Mountain stuff we've been hearing about. It's Hamlindigo Blue. Please don't say that while I'm streaming. There goes my monetization. Everyone donate, become a member. Something tells me that even Blue Mountain coffee isn't this blue. No, this stain is probably... Better ask Emma. So now I can talk to Emma about... Do I present it? Emma, about this mug. There's a pale blue, her face. Oh my god, I forgot to check the mug. There's a pale blue, residue on the rim. Huh? Oh my god, she didn't. Well, yes, well, it's just a rumor. But I've heard there's a kind of coffee called Blue Mountain. Like the chicken sandwich at Rainforest Cafe. I'm pretty sure it isn't actually blue, Emma. Right. Okay, you got me. That's left over from my testing spray. Forensic science. I knew your hobby was behind this somehow, Emma. It's not a hobby. So what kind of scientific stuff were you up to? This spray, that's what. It turns blue when it touches poison. Everything's just covered in that spray. Because she's paranoid. What? Oh, you were looking intently. So the poison that killed the victim was on this mug. That's right. See? It wasn't in the coffee. The killer applied it to the rim of the mug itself. One could say he rimmed it. Wow, science is amazing. Uh-oh. Trucy took note of that word to ask about later. I'm screwed. It certainly is helpful. Maybe Emma'd be willing to help us a little bit more. You should try buttoning her up, Apollo. They say flattery will get you everywhere. Certainly worth talking to her a bit more. About poison analysis, I was afraid you were going to ask about that. See, this solution is used to test for atroquinine. Atroquinine. I am atroquinine. I dress up my atroquinine to look like it's from Bloodborne. Bill, oh my god, stop your jokes. Please, I'm about to pee. I'm laughing so hard. I just changed from the last time you made a joke. Atro, huh? Atroquinine, the deadly poison found in the autopsy. Uh-oh. I know that spark in her eyes. She's getting excited. You recognize that look, do you, Apollo? Best tread lightly. It's one of the most virulent poisons, but it's absorbed into the body astonishingly slowly. So then obviously it wasn't the coffee. It takes at least 15 minutes from the time of ingestion or adverse for adverse effects to show. Consult your doctor before... Oh, and guess what? Recent research has shown... That's fine, really, we don't need it. Yes, you do, Apollo. Don't be a criminal defense lawyer if you're not... Come on, man. I think I get it. You just spray the stuff on something you want to test, right? Precisely. You can find even the slightest trace of poison with this. I want to try too, Emma. Pretty please? You don't have to ask twice. I already used it on everything suspicious, of course. Yay! Let's give it a whirl, Apollo. I was literally about to joke that she's going to spray me. What are you doing? I was just seeing if I got a reaction off of you. How's this for a reaction? Never do that again. I'm not poisonous. Tell that to those hapless witnesses on the stand. Let's just get down to checking for real poisons, shall we? Other mug. No. Paintings. Ooh, mailbox. Weird letter. The little guy. Ah, jeez. Ah, jeez. Ah, jeez. How have we not run out by now? Which side of the room should I be on?
The right side.
Oh, okay. So I was here.
Well,
The light bulb? No.
try spraying a few times at random, then hit the back button. True will suggest a little mask.
Christ. Too bad. No reaction there. I'm sure Emma... I would have been at it for like 10 minutes. I'm sure Emma checked out all the likely spots. Wait a second. What is it, Apollo? The thing the third bill said a couple minutes ago? Did you... It's fine. I don't think games in the 2000s, let alone today, could really handle my level of genius. No one was expecting me to be the demographic. They weren't expecting the king of games to ever pick this one up. Did you spray that little desk over there? I don't think so. The spray probably can't reach that far, you know? Yeah. Good excuse. Let's check it out. Is it not the envelope? Oh, it's the little creepy little photo frame.
Keep that envelope in mind, though.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm a genius. Yes. Eek, a reaction, Apollo. Huh? Where? The inside of that cute little frame. Look. Hear me out. There was a stamp in that frame, and he was desperate to mail out a letter. Not knowing that there was poison under the stamp, he licked it, and then sent out the card. Or letter. Screw you. You were looking so... I wish I could have, like, a separate camera to, like, just show your face. Because you, like, looked at me like the perfect, like, are you kidding me? I think... Oh my god, he really is the king of games. There's no denying it, Mokuba. He is the king of games. well, would you look at that? Nice going, Trucy. I'm known to work magic. Confetti. Never mind that I was the one who found it. Tiny frame added to the court record. Why would the inside of that frame have poison on it? It looks like we found the only other place that was poisoned in any case. No, the letter. Present the little frame, right? No. The letter. Wonder where it's from. Emma, about this. Oh, yes. That's a bright red envelope. She sure is jumpy. Someone opened this, didn't they? Emma, god damn it. My lips are sealed. Your lips are sealed? That's a first. Apollo! Manners. You're in a love triangle. You need to be nice to people. Or I guess this could be the, what's it called? They started as rivals and now they're lovers.
Enemies to lovers.
No, shush. The anime term for it. I know enemies to lovers, but it's like tsundere?
Oh, yes.
Is that what it is? Whatever Kaiba is to the Pharaoh in Yu-Gi-Oh! That. Or Misty is to Ash if you need something a little more heteronormative. What, they fight all the time, but then it's like, they say when two people fight, it means they really care about each other. Me care about him. Huh. No, nobody watched Rivals to Lovers ×3. Big words for a zero chat revenue stream bullying me. There's a bullying fee. You mean you know what's inside the envelope? Sure, I read it after all. Nosy. Ah, you mean you were the one who ripped this open. Huh, please. I would have steamed it open. But she did sneak a peek at it, apparently. Know that I have a powerful weapon on my side. A gun.
Oh.
Anime. Hand stuff? What were you getting at?
Got an anime.
I have the power of God and anime on my side. Scientifically. Weapon. Oh my god, what are you gonna do? Yes, the use of tools. Highly specialized tools for information gathering. What are you gonna 3D print a new letter? Tools I wouldn't mind getting my hands on. Wink. You should try flattering her, Apollo. They say a little praise can open big doors. Come on, do this. Capcom wants to make more romantic merchandise. And it's the 2000s, so it can't be just Wright-worth stuff. Come on. Think of the fan fiction. They say a little praise can open big doors. Never heard that one, but it's good advice. Let's try talking to her some more. About that envelope we found. I was wondering if you could help us out with that tool you were mentioning. You want to know about my tool, do you? Chad, are they flirting? It's called an X-ray analyzer. Analyzer I hardly. X-ray? Like the X-rays you get at the dentist? That's right. At least, that's what I call it. Huh? It has a real name, but it's much more complicated. The X-ray spectralization something. How am I supposed to remember all that? So basically it lets you see inside things, like envelopes. That's right. You're sharp, Trucy. But it's a bit more complicated than that. In practice, of course. Actually, to tell the truth, I'm not really sure how it works, scientifically. Oh, your catchphrase, Emma, again. Can I try it out, Emma, please? Oh, I suppose. Of course, I've already checked out everything suspicious myself. All right, let's give it a spin, Apollo, and crush this professional woman's dreams. I like to think that she, oh my god. I like to think that Emma's so open to letting Trucy use the equipment because she's excited that she sees like a young girl interested in science like she was. That's my headcanon. Yeah, what are you doing? Oh, just seeing if I could see through your hair, but it's like lead. Yeah, there's a sword stuck in there. Ever since I was a baby. Point that thing at me anymore and it might all fall out. And what's wrong with that, Apollo? Then I wouldn't need an X-ray machine to see through it. Let's just get down to business, shall we? Right. Let's test it on a sample first. It so happens that I have a lottery ticket here. Whoa, what? Can you do this? You set the sample in the device like so. I don't see anything. Patience. There's no need to get all antsy. Look at the right side of the screen. That's the layer view of the envelope. Layer view. You've got it set to display the outside of the envelope now, see? Actually, it's quicker to just have you give it a try. Turn that dial there with R for me, would you? Ooh. I'm not doing anything, though. Oh. Was that just a coincidence? That's right. That's how you choose what depth you want to scan. Hey, I got something. See? That's how you can read the letters on the ticket inside. Cool, huh? Except, I can't read them. Just turn the dial a little more. What you have to understand is that a sheet of paper isn't really flat at all. When you zoom in that much, you see that paper is like a bunch of hills and valleys. Wow, really? This X-ray device uses a beam with a wavelength of only 0.05 microns. It breaks cards down into thin layers so it can only show what's written on that layer. Kind of like Daredevil's powers, but they haven't really gone into much explanation about that. But that's comic canon. He can, Daredevil doesn't need Braille to read. He can feel the difference in height when you write something, or grooves, rather, if you use a pen. But he can feel the writing on paper. Even printed text. You're welcome for that fact. Not entirely following you, but what good is it if you can't read anything? That's why we go on to step 2. Try rubbing the image a bit, if you would. Rubbing? Like going over that image with L while holding X? There, that fixes the image on the screen. Now turn the dial again, just a little. That's more than a little. Good, now you can rub this image to fix it too. Hey, I get it. We just keep doing this until we've got the whole thing. Exactly, not bad. Neat, let's do some more. Alright, I'm doing crafts, AMA chat. Did I... There we go. I don't think we won the lottery tonight. Hooray, you didn't win the lottery. Okay, let's print this one out. Ooh, cool. Does this mean I have to buy another one to win? Well, it's Emma's ticket. Let her buy another one. Also, you're 15. You can't buy these. It's okay. There's no need. But see, this is the true hidden power of my weapon. Neat, huh? Now, let's try it out on the real thing, shall we? Alright, doing arts and crafts, AMA. I'm going to kill you tonight. Signed, Tony. Okay, well, we know the killer's name is Tony. This is cool. Wow, this is a winning lottery ticket. Okay, let's print this one out. I've deposited the $100,000 in the designated account. Please send a receipt once you've confirmed the transfer. Good reminder to donate, become a member, huh? Please? Someone deposited $100,000 in a Mr. Misham's account. His paintings must be really valuable. There's another page in there. Care to take a look? You bet I do. If you're going to read someone's mail, you might as well read it all. Here goes with the second page, then. All right, doing crafts, AMA. This is fun. I'm worried this is going to be like the footprint thing, where it's like we spent so much time learning how to do it and then doing it, and then it is yet to come back. And we are almost done.
Shane has, have you seen this anime question?
Okay.
Yuri on Ice.
No. I believe I've heard the name before, but no, I've not seen a lot of animes. I made a little list. That's still a video idea I kick around from time to time, is here's the animes I have seen. And here's like little thoughts on what I have of what I remember of them. But I have been trying to watch a little more. Especially since now a lot of stories, we've come full circle, right? Like now the kids who grew up watching anime are now making the shows. So I'm like, there's a lot of references that I don't get because I didn't watch that many animes. But when a Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Dragon Ball shows up, you bet I'll catch it. Okay, let's print this one out. Sign the papers and send in the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp within 3 days. I need not remind you to speak of this to no one. So it was a letter about payment for one of his paintings. Wow, the secrecy, though. And what? Why was this letter the only one in there? It's 7 years old, right? Maybe it had some special significance to him? Well, Emma? Well, indeed. She knows something she's not telling us. Looks like she's keeping mum about it. Oi, it's a part of justice, isn't it? Why we suddenly mum about it out of nowhere? I don't even think that's specifically British. It just made me think, mum's the word. Like that kind of... Anyway. Red envelope, updated in the court record. So, Emma, I was wondering, what's the story about this reporter that came here for a story that night of... God, we said that twice. What's the story about this reporter that came here for a story the night of the crime? Oh, I'm afraid I can't tell you because he's going to be a witness tomorrow, I hear. I thought so. I'll never forget that face. But what was his name? Oh, right. Brushel. Kind of on the nose, isn't it? He's after a scoop to sell to the papers. So a reporter comes for an interview with a painter. His first interview ever, and that night he's killed? Seems strange to you? Really strange. It does raise a few questions. I'd like to speak with this reporter if I could. Well, I hear he's on the beat today, too. He said something about covering a magician. Magician? Like a dark magician? Well, if it's not Trucy, that leaves only one other person. It wasn't Valant Gramarier by any chance, was it? Yeah, something like that. He's got some big show lined up, I hear. So he's out interviewing Valant Gramarier. Looks like I'll be heading out to the Coliseum again sooner than I thought. Here, I'll give you that reporter's card if you want. I just saw the quotes at the end and thought it was quote-unquote journalist. Apollo Justice does not believe in journalism. Are we done here?
You are.
Ooh. Just one poster for the magic show? Look at the blue badger handing out his balloons. Woohoo! This is it, Apollo. The place where magic and dreams converge. Just a while ago, it was the place where murder and nightmares converged. Cool, you really know how to keep the mood light. Let's go say hi to Uncle Valant. What about the case? Wah-ha-ha-ha-ha. Only a performer laughs like that. The young Miss Trucy. How often I hoped we'd meet again, only to tell myself it was an impossible dream. Tee-hee, Uncle Valant, how's it going? I'm glad to see you. Of course you are. Humility is definitely not one of his stronger traits. Well, Miss Trucy, how does the day find you? If you've come to give me flowers, do it after the show, I beg you. Actually, we came to wish you good luck. And congratulations on your big magic show. Oh, but it is I who wish to congratulate you. Not everyone is so lucky as to witness miracles such as the ones I shall perform. Me before every stream and video goes up. Yeah, you're amazing. We get the picture. The world will watch in wonderment as Magnifi? The world will watch in wonderment as Magnifi's illusions are reborn. Using Monster Reborn, pulling one card from the card graveyard. Here, on stage by my hand. Say what now? Everyone's talking about the big magic show. Is it true that the Gramarier miracle is back after a 7-year absence? How many years? Miss Trucy, I must apologize. This show and this honor should have been his. Daddy. My co-magician in training, Zach Gramarier. If that terrible thing hadn't... It's okay. Your father was a great magician, Trucy. If he were alive, then Valant Gramarier would have been proud to stand upon this stage as his assistant. So you had something to gain from his death? Sus? Thanks, Uncle Valant. You know, I'm happy you're doing this show. To think, we get to see the great Magnifi's illusions again. She really is looking forward to this, isn't she? My mentor, the magnificent Magnifi Grandmaye, was a true deity among us, among magicians. A creator god who gave birth to magic and illusions that defied our very imaginations. Please stop reading my bio like this. I was so little when I last saw one, but I still remember his shows. He did wheelies in a sports car through the air above the audience, and then sped off to outer space faster than the speed of sound. But did he roll around at the speed of sound? I'm guessing that memory was a bit embellished. For 7 long years, the world has been waiting for a miracle to match his. As heir to the Grandmaye troop's secrets, it falls to me to provide one. It is my God-given destiny. Yes, you, nameless face who speaks for the nameless masses. How can I help you? If the world was waiting, why did you hold off for 7 long years? Oh, Phantom 2 is 10 years, my bad. It appears the lad is uninformed. Perhaps you have heard of the magician known as Law, the magic known as Law, which governs our land? You know I have, though I'm not sure it qualifies as magic. The performance of Magnifi's miracles was impossible. A certain law prevented it for 7 years, but no more. Ever since the Purge made all crime legal, I could do this act again. 7 years, that kind of sent him to a different part of the South. 7 years, that phrase sure likes to pop up, doesn't it? And why was that? A little matter called performance rights, Miss Trucy. It's like copyright, but for moving? Can you tell us about these performance rights? Magnifi's magic relied on an incredibly innovative idea. A, trick, if you will. That trick was considered his property, and as such was protected by property laws. Intellectual property, maybe? Magnifi knew this and bequeathed it in his will. To one person. You mean him? Yes. Miss Trucy, it was your father. Zach Grandmaye was the inheritor of the Grandmaye miracle. Daddy. Yet, as you well know, he is gone. F in the chat to pay respects. He disappeared suddenly. Oh, wait, is he alive? Is it me? Manfred von Karma. Bam, bam, bam. He disappeared suddenly 7 years ago. I think I see where this story is going. Once a person is classified missing for a certain period of time, they're considered legally deceased. Correct? In all absoluteness, those rolled up sleeves conceal your competence well, young man. That certain period of time of which you speak is 7 years. Yes, Miss Trucy, though it pains me to say it. This past spring, April to be precise, was the time your father was legally declared deceased. In the absence of a formal will, the secrets of our mighty mentor Magnifi passed to me. This was, in fact, stipulated in the will by Magnifi himself. Is that how it works, Apollo? Yeah, it's called death in absentia. He's declared missing. Permanently. Daddy. Well, this has been fun. Good talk, everybody. Do I give him the card? Or do I just leave? Oh, what am I presenting? Brushel's card. So a journalist was here on a story? All eyes in the universe are upon my stage. All pens seek to commit its mysteries to paper. His name was Breschel. Damn it. This is a real thing that happens. Their southern twangs are combining because they know each other. Brushhill. I think he remembers him. He doesn't look too happy about it. Brushhill, that cloying smell of mint when he smiles, yes. Could you tell us more about him? What did he want? Ah ha ha! A challenge, is it? You want me to make that disappear? Oh, not yet, I guess. Very well, give it to me. No, thanks. Are all magicians like this? Apollo, what was that look just now? I was just thinking how hard it is to get any information out of a magician. Okay, I thought I could present them at the same time. My bad. Mr. Brushel, journalist. A man by that name called on me just now. Just now? Vallant's vision is always toward tomorrow. Vallant's feet step always forward. That is all. That's all. Very confusing. I am to perform a big magic show, yes? I wanted someone to cover it. Yet he had ears only for that incident. That incident? In any case, I requested that the rapacious reporter remove himself. So a painter has died. What of it? It is but a footnote in the floodlights compared to the magic of Grand Marnier. Uncle Vallant, do you know where that reporter went? I recommended he visit that place popular with penalized perpetrators. The detention center? He was a rude individual. Might I see that card? Sure. You motherfucker. He would tear apart my respectability. I will tear him apart. Oh, here it comes. What, is it a blue eyes white dragon and now it can never be used against you? Oh, here it comes, Apollo, Uncle Vallant's big magic trick. He's gonna fix the card? Not quite sure that counts as big magic. You son of a bitch. That was my grandfather's friendship card. What happened to the big magic? Ha ha ha. It is not more miraculous for it. Is it not more miraculous for it to stay ripped? I must really not like that journalist. So now I show him the envelope. I was figuring he would just put it through the X-ray machine, but okay. I was wondering if you could tell me about this. Aha, well that bears the Grand Marnier seal. Uncle Vallant, is something wrong? Trucy, where did you get this? Yeah, this guy's sus as hell. What do you mean he's got an angry sprite? Kill him. Huh? Daddy gave it to me. Yo, daddy. My partner's Zach. No. My other daddy. Other daddy number 1 of 2. Phoenix Rat. Why now? Why would you Lord Daddy? Lord Daddy, that's kind of stretching the whole archaic thing a bit. This signature upon the back, do you recognize it? That belongs to none other than Zach Grand Marnier. What? Daddy signed this? Might I be so bold as to open it? I'm sorry, but I can't let you do that. You're being sus as hell. It's his will. Trucy gets the magic move, not him. What's in this envelope, I wonder? Now the time has come when I must return to make my prestidigitation preparations. By your leave, Miss Trucy. Just say prestige, you fucking nerd. Thanks, Uncle Vallant. 3 days from now, make ready for a miracle. I'm gonna have you killed for murdering someone. What do you think that journalist was after? And why did Vallant react like this to the envelope? I think it's time to pay the detention center another visit. I think we should open the envelope. Me, what the hell? October 7th, detention center, visitor's room. Yeah, I think I hear what you're saying. We're all doing it for the money, end quote. No, not at all. Looks like someone's already meeting here. I'm meeting here. Maybe that's the reporter? Oh my god. Hey there! How you doing? Who might you be? Why do you have the same little feather thing as what was in that office? Sorry, we didn't know someone was already here. I'm Apollo Justice, attorney at law. Talk about a nervous monkey. You Justice? You know me? Do I know you? Of course I know you. Stares down witnesses on stand till they spill beans. End quote. That's not true. What's he writing? Stop this. Are you a reporter by any chance? Whoa, you Trucy. Eh? Oh, am I famous? Oh yeah. Trucy Wright hates carrying a bag. Puts everything she owns in a panties, end quote. Sir, you need to come with me. That's not true. Just hold on to your breeches there. I'll wrap up this interview in a jiffy. Interview? So God, I think I know what's going on here. Gone in rooms is my life. What else could I possibly need? End quote. No, how many times do I have to tell you this? Look, I've got work to do. You deal with him. Did you come here to interview the guard? Oh wee, what a pickle. Accused wouldn't talk. Had to interview someone to go plumb crazy. Oh God. Had to interview someone to go plumb crazy. End quote. Huh? I should have guessed. Where's my manners? Name's Bushel, Spock Bushel. I'm journalism in here. End quote. I'm not picky. Journalist just close his eyes, writes. End quote. What's that nauseatingly strong mint smell every time he grins? Why is everyone complaining that he smells minty? Some of us like to brush our teeth. Until you've been interviewed by me, you don't know what drill it is. Wild romp through crossroads of mayhem madness. End quote. I can see that. He's writing something again. Well, if he's a reporter, maybe he knows something? I don't trust this guy. So, Mr. Brushel, you're a journalist? Me? Look, let me state one thing for the record here. Yeah? I'm the interviewer, you understand? Yeah? Interviewer, I hardly. I'm the one asking the questions here. I'm questioning here. End quote. Okay. For instance, you think a movie director watches movies? Well, I think he probably does. Exactly! I knew you understand. Oh, God. I knew you'd understand. Huh? Oh, I'm gonna regret this. So, the night of the murder, you were at Drew's studio? Oh, me? Look, let me state one thing for the record. I'm stating here. Yes. I may look calm and collected, but I'm busy. Real busy. Always on the road. Journalist always buys one-way tickets, never looks back. End quote. I can understand that philosophy, but you want to know the thing about one-way tickets? Once you use them, they're gone. How deep of you. All because you have to give them to the guy at the airport. True enough, but don't they give normal tickets away too? Exactly! See, it's the same thing! What is? So you went to do a story on Drew Misham, and he'd never had a story done about him before. That's right! Look, let me state one thing for the record here. What? I'm sure you're gonna know... Shit. Ooh, excuse me. I'm sure you're gonna want to know about my source. What tipped me off to Drew? Why do the interview in the first place? Well, yeah. Look, it's like, oh, I got it. Say there's this burger joint with fabulous ketchup. You think the burger guy's gonna tell me where he got it? At the supermarket? maybe? Exactly! See, that's what I'm talking about! I think I may have actually understood that one. Well, there's nothing I can talk about, really. Walls have ears, eyes, especially glass walls with speakers, end quote. Right. Guess we'll leave then. I don't like to be rude, but where are your lips? But since you're here, might as well tell you a tidbit of news I saw just for the heck of it. I'm chatting here. Sure, tell us. Just for the heck of it. I remember it like it was yesterday. I'd seen a movie on a trip and wandered into this burger place with amazing ketchup. When an article in a tabloid caught my eye. Famous oil painting stolen from art dealer's gallery, end quote. I believe it was. An oil painting. Happens every day, right? But I thought I'd seen that painting somewhere before. Painting of a giant peach floating down a river. Was there some magic in your nose? What happened there? Someone stole an oil painting of a giant peach? Journalists can smell scoop better than burgers, end quote. Can we kill this guy? Do I give him something? I just leave? Okay. Well, see ya. Thank you. Oh, finally, a familiar face and an easy voice. Well, how'd it go? Find anything out? Actually, there was one thing I wanted to check with you. What's with that scary face you're making? And what's with the I know something but I'm not telling face you've got going, Emma? Oh my god, they know each other so well. Present? Oh, do we x-ray the envelope now? Damn it. The hidden painting?
Yes.
Okay. The beauty underneath. The painting. This painting came from behind that dresser. Ah, yes. So? It was stolen, no? I was hoping you wouldn't figure that out. I stole it. Do you think you could tell us a bit about this? I suppose. It's what you think. Drew Misham was a forger. A forger, I hardly. Forger? That's a cool little twist. So what exactly is a forger? Well, basically... Basically, it's someone who makes forgeries. Fakes, in other words. Fakes? Copies of an original. Copies? A duplicate. Duplicate? Exact copies, so precise you can't tell them apart. Well, why not just photocopy them? Because they're paintings. The big problem with forgeries is that people try to sell them as the real article. It's a crime, of course. So Drew Misham was a criminal? I'm afraid so. He received money to create elaborate forgeries. To supplement his work in illustration, I guess. I see. Actually, that's why I brought this here in the first place. We're gonna x-ray the paintings? What do you mean? When you're trying to determine if a painting is a forgery, the rough sketch underneath can be a valuable clue. So the rough sketch is like practice for the real thing. Like doing a magic trick in front of a mirror before you go on stage. But not in the case of a forgery, not necessarily anyway. You know what the finished product is going to look like after all. Oh yeah, I guess you would. That's why I brought this. I'm going to use it to see what's under the paint of the finished pieces. I get it now. Not that I really needed to go to such lengths, seeing as how one of the paintings was only half finished anyway. Still, be neat to see Mr. Misham's rough sketches. Kind of like what he was drawing when he thought no one was looking. True, that would be interesting and maybe valuable for our case. You should try buttoning her up, Apollo. Flattery will get you everywhere, they say. We need this. Maybe I should ask Emma to help us out. Do I present it to her? just show her the painting? Acrylic, landscape, portrait.
Oh, I thought 3D first presented portrait.
God damn. Okay. I kind of wanted to see the rough sketch under this painting. And I was wondering if your tool there might do the trick. Oh, fine, fine. Just this time, though. Let's check it out. Oh, thank God. I thought we were going to present each one. Okay. Doing arts and crafts, AMA. All right. Oh, an X. We'd had to take a little break. I forgot the moves already. It can't be. Obelisk the Tormentor. Oh my God. Was he drawing the future? Is Chachi a good boy? Yes, Chachi is a good boy. Good boy, Chachi. Chachi. Is this Heroes? Y'all remember Heroes? Is that too old of a reference? Okay, let's print this one out. Oh, it's not a full house, though. Huh. What? What the heck? Wow, he really blows. What? The finished painting isn't anything like the rough. Devices like mine didn't exist until recently. He probably thought he could draw any sort of thing he wanted for the rough. What do you mean? Well, in the past, you could only analyze the composition of a rough sketch. Composition? In other words, the traces of charcoal between paint and canvas, so you could tell if there had been a rough sketch. But not what it looks like. I think I follow you. So in essence, it wouldn't matter what was underneath the finished painting. Some pros would actually paint out a rough sketch entirely. Then do a completely new painting on top of that. So Mr. Mission was drawing whatever he wanted before painting over him. Possibly. Is there a problem with that? Not particularly, but it's something about that sketch itself is kind of odd. You're awfully silent all of a sudden, Apollo. You think we could check out one of the other paintings? Well, sure. You like this detection stuff, don't you? Wink. Okay, we just did, right? We just did that one. I wish it would go away or a check mark or something.
So,
Mm-hmm.
Chance and you, something you're obsessed with. Hold up, my cooking house with my reporter.
Yes. There's a couple. It's the bridge on fire. Dahlia Hawthorne flying over it. Larry Butts! Ooh, is that a moving castle? Or is it just a house with a bunch of trees around it? Oh, it's the cart. This is creepy. I thought for a minute those were like the robot feet. It was a house moving castle reference. Okay, let's print this one out. This is getting weird. This one too. What's wrong, Apollo? You look so serious all of a sudden. Why so? You think I could just look at the last of these? Fine by me. Knock yourself out. The Last of Us? Okay. So has he been like following us? How does he know all this? Nobody AMA while I'm crafting an art? Like, share, subscribe, donate, become a member? Wow, I am like so zoning out. There we go. It's a guitar on fire. Wow, it is a guitar on fire. Okay, let's print this one out. What the heck is all this? I hesitate to ask why you're getting so excited. You sure your device isn't linked to some kind of strange leaking some kind of strange radiation? Trucy, look at these 3 sketches. Do you notice anything? Oh, I could kill for some noodles right now. Ah! There. Now you're both white as sheets. What's going on? These sketches are of the 3 cases I worked on. What? The murder in the poker room at the Borscht Bowl Club. The dead man pulling the noodle stand. And then the events that transpired during the Gaviners concert. Except a little more dramatic. What is that from? Our teacher told us to draw one of you dying, because that would be more dramatic. What could it mean? How could he have drawn those things? And why? That's what I want to know. Wait, is Drew Misham... What? Your father? Give me a break. Does that seem even remotely possible to you? Apollo, do you know who your parents are? Why did you guess father? I never even heard of any Drew Misham before. I hadn't even seen a picture of him. But there were my cases drawn out on his canvas. Every single one of them. It couldn't have been a coincidence. Just who was this Drew Misham, and what did he have to do with me? That's fucking sick as hell. That's amazing. That's pretty metal. Haha, it's my birthday reversed.
Good checkpoint time.
Yes?
Who is your favorite new character in Apollo Justice so far?
Ooh, that's a tough question. I'm hoping to get to know more about Apollo. I like our guitar boyfriend. I think Mr. Hat. I do really love Trucy. I'm very compelled, more than beyond the what do you mean Phoenix is your daddy, what's the story there part of it. There's something that makes me so happy. She does the Maya excited move with like her fists up from time to time. I also love that she's a literal magical girl assistant. Or I guess a girl magician assistant as opposed to a magical girl assistant. I love that. I just want her to have time to shine where we don't talk about her undies, if I may. But yeah, I'd say coin toss between Gavin and Trucy. Because I wouldn't count Emma as new, because I played Rise from the Ashes. But yeah, I really love Emma, or Trucy. I love Emma, but I consider her part of the original Ace Attorney family. I like seeing her, like, I want more time with all these characters to see it develop more. I love the idea of, like, I'm going to go be a scientist, and, like, I studied overseas, and blah, blah, blah. And then, like, I don't know. It's sad to see it fictionally, because there's always that argument that art should help you escape, and I want all these characters to achieve their wildest dreams. There's something validating about being crushed under the boot of the world a little bit, you know? I didn't love working restaurants or in an office, but I relate to that, you know? This isn't my dream. My dream is to entertain and not lose money every year. Like, share, subscribe, donate, become a member. October 8th. Wow, we're just doing this, huh? We still haven't even... Has this been, like, the one recurring theme in all of Apollo Justice that you do not talk to your defendant before the first trial? Good morning. So, you're Vera, right? I'm Trucy. Trucy Wright. That's Wright with a W, but not right. Like right, not like, you know. We're on your side. You can tell us anything, please. Good morning. Da-ding. She speaks, she can talk, she can talk, she can sing. Oh, help me, Dr. Sayers. Dr. Sayers, Dr. Sayers. No. Not bad, not bad. But I think you do better with a little smile, you know? You're so pretty, you need to sell yourself, you know? Trucy, take it easy for starters. We live in a patriarchy. That's really sweet. Thank you for taking my case. Dang? Okay, well, that's a start, I guess. What's with the hand? Here she goes with the nail polish again. That's great, really. It's so cultured. Want to try? Ow. Ooh, really? Ugh. Girls. Shut the fuck up, Apollo. Get with it. This is supposed to still take place in the future. The victim, Drew Misham, was a forger. Forger, hardly. And a stolen painting was found in his studio. A life of crime, really. And maybe one that led to his death. Also, all of his drawings were of me, and that's fucking so creepy and cool. October 8th. Oh, yeah, and our boyfriend's the prosecutor. Let's go. Well, we will now, begin the trial of, Vera Misham. Is the judge okay? His voice is all raspy, and he's looking around all nervous like. The repercussions of today's trial will most likely be felt for a long time, and may indeed alter our legal system forever. Oh my god, our judge has done awful things to give certain verdicts, and we're gonna have to destroy his life. Today is a test of the jurist system, and the first step toward a new order in our courts. Daddy's secret mission. Part of a secret mission is not shouting secret mission, Trucy. The jurist will function like a jury. Haha, so true, King. Go on. Wow, I never thought of it like that. Keep talking. See, I just don't understand sports good. Is that how you flirt? It is hoped their inclusion will help the courts to better reflect the people's will. Why aren't there any jurists in the courtroom? 3 closed-circuit cameras watch... Oh, you didn't want to change it, huh? 3 closed-circuit cameras watch the courtroom at all times. The jurists have access to everything that transpires. Jurists. Judge well and judge cool. Now, see here, Prosecutor Gavin. I was going to say that. Oh my god, I'm going to lose my job and I'm 1 week away from retirement. My apologies there, Judge. Ahem. Jurists, today, judge today's trial coolly if you would be so kind. Would you kindly judge today's trial? The jurists are unbound by the letter of the law. They don't affect the trial with evidence, but by their feelings. And we're about to find out just what effect they're going to have. Very well, Prosecutor Gavin. The details of the case, if you would. The victim is the painter, Drew Misham. He was killed in his own studio. His coffee was poisoned. By whom, you ask? By none other than the defendant, Vera Misham. That's literally not even how the poison works. There wasn't any poison in the coffee. Acton. God, that's really hard to do while keeping the voice. Someone has been doing their homework. Indeed, poison was not present in the coffee, but on the mug itself. The mug. Ah, residue was found on the rim, I see. That's what the kids call rimming. The autopsy report describes the manner of our victim's death. The court accepts this as evidence. I have like 3 paintings in my pocket, and then the autopsy report. According to this report, the victim's death was caused by, I'm not saying that in this voice, poisoning. A chemical compound that does not occur naturally. Lethal dosage is a mere 0.002 milligrams. A touch of atroquinine in the body is the touch of the Reaper's scythe. Ha! Metal! Very well, Prosecutor Gavin. You may present your witness. I have for you today a simple man for a simple case. A man who witnessed the murder in its entirety. That journalist, no doubt. The witness will state his name and occupation. Shit. Ah, right! Well, for starters, my name's Spock Bruschel. My job is a lone observer of the world. Observer hardly. In other words, a freelance journalist, right? Ahem, if you don't mind, I'd like to state something here for the record. Yes, Mr. Bruschel. God damn. I dislike conclusions, specifically the aspect of jumping to conclusions. Perception make park sandbox of endless desert waste, end quote. But you are a journalist. You said so yourself. Literally yesterday. Well, that's true, yeah. But you must understand, I stand before you today a man with a dream. I'm offering you my testimony in exchange for exclusive rights to the story. Scoop turns Mr. Bruschel into that Mr. Bruschel, end quote. Let's hear your testimony then, shall we? A simple case, eh, Gavin? For me, the jury is, still out. Apollo, you didn't even know what a jury was until yesterday. I visited the studio around 9 o'clock that night to do the interview. The first outsider to enter almost at Altair, that ain't right. Atlia, journalistic history made, end quote. His daughter brought us coffee right after we started. And you know what happened next? Star falls, end quote. No one else entered the room besides her the whole time. That does sound like a simple and clean case. Unless you were the one who poisoned him. Whoa, 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 whoa. What are you saying there, Judge? Ahem. Need I remind you the cameras are rolling today. I felt the need to be a bit, dramatic. You didn't do it, did you? Me do a thing like that? Come on, that's like newsmaker making the news, end quote. Or even contemporary witch hunt, end quote. Don't. It is nothing like the witch hunt. Don't. I know, wild accusation, rock courtroom, end quote. Rock indeed. Very clean, very metal. Prosecutor Gavin sure looks like he's having fun. I'm so happy for him. Very well. Mr. Justice, your cross-examination, please. Shit. I wish our eyes were big and in the center, like the good old days. Gavin has such pretty eyes. Press or present. Fuck. I visited the studio around 9, then I did the interview. First outsider to enter that, where journalistic history, quote. His daughter brought us coffee right after we started. And you know what happened next. Star falls. No one else entered the room besides her the whole time. That's the one with the gap. What's this about a star falling? Star falls, huh? It's like an old telegram. Send money. Over. Zowie, you don't know? That's like a journalism code word. An important personage passes away. A star falls. Get it? But there's no gravity in space, is there? Does gravity falls? TM? I wouldn't think stars could fall, really. Does this matter? Oh boy, this is good stuff, good stuff. How about star breaks? Nah, lacks punch. I know, star dies. Nah, lacks imagination. Of course, you could go with Drew dies, straight to the point. Maybe a little gay to the point. I like it. I think we needed to hear about something a little more substantial. Okay, so this was right then. The moment of death? Because that's a point of contention with the poison. Wait. Oh, Brushel is him. I'm so confused. So probably then there's just the coffee? Thank you. You say Mr. Misham had the coffee too. But did you actually see him drink the coffee? Course! He who sees it wins, but he who says it wins bigger. And quote, I live in a man sees dog eat dog and writes about it world, yet. Guess I can't say I saw him drink it, really. He had one so-called sip, if that. Man puts lips to mug. Drinks? Question mark? Exclamation point? End quote. That poison is quite virulent. Virulent? Virulent. Virulent. I hear. My stomach did a so-called somersault. Which is crazy, because I can't have salt and it's not summertime. Since I gulped down that coffee without so much as a second glance at it, wait, maybe something's there, some kind of so-called trick. Anyone want to venture a guess for the record? Does this guy have a pause button? Well, Mr. Justice, did you find that testimony valuable? Yes. The victim drank his coffee that immediately fell. Yeah, here we go. He drank his coffee that immediately fell over. Ah, yeah, you can go to press with that one. Your Honor, this is a vital piece of information. Please add it to the testimony. Very well. The witness will add this to the testimony. Vital, right. In one sip, if that, the next moment he was on the floor. Boom, boom, laka boom. Where's the thing that says a triplicate isn't instant? My nuts? Slow acting deadly poison. Fuck yeah! We're back, baby! I'm objecting here! Oop, I unlocked the camera. That is annoying. God forbid a man stretches in his own home. What's the line from the Bill Burr fake Buffalo Wild Wings commercial? Nothing pisses my wife off more than me being happy in my own home. It's fucking... I'm not an SNL fan, but Bill Burr is so good in those. We stumbled upon it. I guess it was right before the Super Bowl or something. But yeah, it's the one where like everyone's pretending to be at Buffalo Wild Wings for an ad, and then it cuts to him and he's like swearing at the Patriots game and stuff and stealing beer. Anyway. You know what I have a problem with? A particular property of the poison used. A particular property of the poison used. Atroquinine. Prosecutor Gavin was quite clear about the poison. A lethal dosage of 0.002 mg paralyzes the central nervous system. If you drank that, even you, Mr. Justice, would be reduced to a quivering pile. Why are you using me as an example? Unfortunately, we weren't told everything. There was a vital omission in Prosecutor Gavin's information. In omission, atroquinine is a virulent, as he says, but death doesn't come upon ingestion, not immediately. That's because atroquinine is a slow-acting poison. Slow-acting. Whoa. According to one forensic scientist, it's one of the most virulent Stop with these words. They're so hard, big words hurt. It's absorbed into the blood, to the body astonishingly slowly. It takes at least 15 minutes from the time of ingestion for adverse effects to show. If we suppose that the moment Mr. Misham... God, if we suppose that the moment Mr. Misham sipped the coffee was when he sealed his fate, then he would still have had time left to enjoy his last cup of joe. Good God, look at the back silhouette of that man. He's so, like, he looks like pipe cleaners. Or he looks like a claymation character. Order! What's the meaning of this? If what the defense says is correct, why, that contradicts the entire testimony we've just heard. Well, Mr. Brushel, anything to say on the record? Slow acting, S-L-O-W-A-C-T. It was Can we spell that instead? All right. Even then, it had already begun digging its claws into the journalist. He's working on his scoop. Sigh. It's Bruchel, yeah? Air, Bruchel. Let's take a trip back down memory lane. Huh? Did the victim really die the instant he took a sip? Think it over. This is vital. Almost Christmas isn't Christmas. You know what I think? I think that was a not-so-subliminal suggestion, end quote. I admit, it does cause a problem if he died when you say he died. I would be forced to say Auf Wiedersehen to my simple case. And you would be forced to say farewell to your article. Are we bribing him in front of the jury cameras? Come again? You can't write a story based on conjecture, can you? And as the case drags on, other reporters will pick up the scent, and you'll be forced to kiss your exclusive scoop goodbye. Scoop! Are you brushing your glasses and your mouth with the same? Look, just wait a second. Just 1 second, I'm brushing it. We're waiting. Out with it. I think I just recalled a so-called, quote-unquote, important detail. A revival of recollection, end quote. A story survival, end quote. Utterly confused, end quote. Actually, I did notice something when I visited the studio. I'd heard a poison that takes its sweet time, see? But not what I've been saying for the last few minutes, apparently. Mr. Brushel, are you saying you noticed something that explains what happened? You bet I am. The antidote for a poisonous contradiction, end quote, you might say. Or I still have no idea what you're talking about, end quote, I might say. I figured it out, but only after an in-depth interview. See, thanks to my journalism skills, I know who poisoned that coffee there. Order! As far as I can tell, the witness is standing by his testimony that Mr. Misham died the instant after he drank. Of course I'm standing by my testimony and my dream of exclusive rights to this story. I suppose it was too much to hope for. What was? Of course he wouldn't choose a simple case, not him. Him. Phoenix Wright. Who else? Ding. Yeah, buddy, if he picked me, he probably picked everyone. Akten, Herr Bruschel. Report for us, if you would. What is it that you noticed? This court is a critical trial of the juris system. I'm afraid no room for doubt is permissible. You will testify to the court about what you noticed. What Bruschel noticed? When I arrived at the studio, Mr. Misham was at his desk. He seemed to be writing a letter, but he quickly sealed the envelope. Letter, I thought nothing of it at the time, of course. Now I think about it, what if he was writing a unalive note? A unalive note. Yeah, he had this look on his face. Man's face inscrutable as a quadratic equation, end quote. Unalive, poor Mr. Misham. But that means Vera's innocent. Would someone commit unalive in the middle of an interview? Wow. Making us work around this word really helped the state of the world and mental health as a whole. Thanks, YouTube. Ow. Very well. You may begin your cross-examination. Links in the description, should you assume you don't need them. That's in all the videos and streams. One person noticed. When I arrived at the studio, Mr. Bishop was at his desk. He seemed to be... Oh, press present. Pues. He seemed to be writing a letter, but he quickly sealed the envelope. I thought nothing of it at the time, of course. It's not that one, the last one? Okay, because I'm like, I don't want to go through repeating that word and trying to avoid it, and then finding out that I got my limited monetization or whatever. Or the stream just gets demonetized as a whole. Consider donating or becoming a member. He seemed to be writing a letter, but he quickly sealed the envelope. When I read the studio, oh. So he put the letter away when he saw you? Early reporter gets worm! End quote. That's my secret. I'm not sure I follow. It's the night of the interview. I arrived 15 minutes ahead of schedule. It's also nice to show up early in case they have a shower. I don't have a home, you see. I travel constantly. Remember that weird conversation we had about plane tickets? The handle turns, the door opens, and I barge in. You sure that's okay to do? I mean, isn't that unlawful entry, really? Mr. Mishim sure seemed to think so. You should have seen him. He crammed his letter into that yellow envelope as fast as he could. I know a secret when I spot one, and that was one. It does seem significant. Well, Mr. Justice, wonder, does have the ring of something important. Yeah, especially because he said yellow envelope, and that was red. The defense finds this testimony vital, Your Honor. Sorry I burped so close to the mic. Does it pick up my body sounds? Should I worry about the gain? Okay. Very well. Please add it to the testimony then. Hey, why not? My account comes free of charge. Because, you know, you don't get paid to be a witness. Do you get paid to be a Yep, yellow envelope. I heard it. Yep. Objection. This is a red envelope. 99 red envelopes fired at the suspicious guy. As it just so happens, there was a single letter in a desk drawer at the scene. In a red envelope. Damn, oh my Jesus. Prosecutor Gavin. Yes. Was a yellow envelope found at the scene of the crime? Unfortunately, no. But Air Forehead, it's easy to mistake the color of an envelope. What? I guess. Tell me, what color do you think my vest is? Yellow? But not this envelope. You see, it was postmarked already 7 years ago. Well, Mr. Brushel. Yeah, I can explain that. What, I'm not a pilot? I can't see the colors good. Wright. He wanted to get that letter in an envelope pronto. Get it out of sight of my beady eyes. So he grabbed the nearest envelope and crammed away. What about the whole red and yellow envelope contradiction, chump? Got him. Well, Mr. Justice, have you anything to say to the witness's claim? That night, the victim put a letter he had been writing in a red envelope. It's impossible? I mean, that's... Oh, because it would have been in the box. Right? Oh, my bad. I was hoping it would show me... Because weren't there instructions? It's impossible? That's impossible. I like your expression. So full of confidence. A confidence I could kiss. It's simple, really. As it just so happens, the defense team investigated the contents of this envelope with the assistance of a forensic scientist. What? Note that this letter is addressed to Drew Misham. Oh! Why would he address a letter to himself? Let alone send a note to himself. I've been scooped! Please stop squeezing your face. Order. Order. Mr. Brushel, can you explain this to the court? Oh, my. How could I have forgotten? I suppose this happens to the best of us. Reporter gets old, forgets lots, and quote, I'm still waiting for an explanation, Mr. Brushel. Well, that's the thing, see. After he put his letter in that envelope, Mr. Misham sat there searching his desk drawer for something. His desk drawer? Yeah, a stamp. I'm a fucking genius. I'm underappreciated at my time. Yeah, stamp, a so-called postage stamp, end quote. A stamp? Whatever for? Well, to mail his letter, what else? And then, I think I saw him put it in his letterbox. Yeah, it was a yellow envelope, but he put it in that box. Well. Whew. Oh, shit. Apparently, this yellow envelope has nothing to do with the case. Oh, how I wish it did. Just think if that were a note. What a story. Man, I hate this guy. End quote. Ahem. Rude. As I was saying, that has nothing to do with this case. That said, yes, Your Honor, it makes me wonder about the contents of that red envelope. Oops. $100,000 is quite a good deal of money. So this was from 7 years ago, yeah? Ding! So am I, finished here? I mean, I'm finished here! I was thinking of, going home. Start writing. Please. Kill him. I hate to state what should be pretty obvious to anyone, but when you catch the scent of a story, you make that a rather unique face, and you start smelling aggressively. Hey, come on! Attorney has active imagination, little else, end quote. Even I noticed something, and my eyes aren't what they used to be. Maybe it is best we switch to a jury system. I'm starting to understand what all this perceiving stuff is about. Does the hard stare. Judge's active imagination, end quote. Please, continue with your testimony. Tell us about the scent of a story. Hey, I'm the one asking the questions here. Usually, I'm answering here. God, how much longer until we kill this man, Steven? Actually, it took a bit of work to get a thumbs up on the interview. Reporter leverages story, gets his interview, end quote. The story concerned a certain case from 7 years ago. That red envelope probably had something to do with it. Say what you will, but Drew's talent was without compare. So you threatened to go to the press with this story. That's how you got your interview. Blackmail. Well, yeah. No. It wasn't exactly, I'm not, something wrong, Mr. Brushel. Look, this is my story, my tidbit. Journalist info is livelihood, end quote. I see. Wow, you have me chatting away in here. What's going on out there? I'm wasting here. What if some Wally Wordsworth or Sally Scooper gets wind of my story? Or my arch rival, Lotta Hot. Her voice is so grating. Are you okay?
Yeah, terrible foot cramp.
Oh. The way you were fidgeting, I was like, is something wrong? I'm being too loud into your headphones?
No.
Wind of my story. They could be going to press while I'm going to waste. I'm wasting here. The court feels your pain, Mr. Brushel. Mr. Justice, let's pick up the pace on my tempo. 1, 2, 3. A certain case 7 years ago. Wait, 7 years ago? Question mark. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, and it's lit up for all of them. I'm assuming I have to receive one of these. The red envelope. Say what you will, but choose. Okay, he's looking up. He's tapping his head. Does it matter? Like, will I know?
I don't know if you will know if there's a correct answer.
Because I thought it was this because he was like hitting his head with his toothbrush.
I don't think that matters just yet.
So not this one? Oh, well, thank you. God damn it. Say what you will, but Drew's talent. Fuck. Here again. Is it his throat? Is it his hands? What, is it his balls? Like, why are you being weird? You said it's not his hand? Is it his ear? Is it his mouth? God, his gross fucking lipless mouth. His nose? What's left of him? What? Please help. I hate that it's so limited.
It's on his right.
Oh my god. His armpit? Everyone gets stinky in their armpit to make it sound like it's something unique to just me.
No, I said like I meant like a general you, not you specifically.
Oh, gross. Jesus. Sweet much, Mr. Brushel? Hey, yeah, well, a man can't help his glands, Oh, sweat much, Mr. Brushel. A man can't help his glands, you know. It's more than that. When Mr. Bisham's talent was mentioned, you pissed your armpit. You suddenly began to sweat buckets. Hey, that's really rude. You're hiding something about his talent. What? That's ridiculous. Evidence time. Let's show where Mr. Misham's true talent lay. Just so happens I have evidence showing the talent mentioned in that letter. Oh, the unfinished landscape. I'm so shocked that the X-ray isn't evidence. How else would I prove this? It's the landscape. What then? The one that was stolen? The hidden painting? What? I guess it's proof that he stole the painting? Why wouldn't it be the one that has the forgery exposed? Whatever, thank you. This painting was found in Mr. Misham's studio. Da-ding! There are two problems with this painting. First is it wasn't painted by Mr. Misham. Second is that there was another painting in the studio, which looked exactly like this one. One could argue that that could have been the evidence to present as well, except it was only half done. That one's more interesting. That should have been the one that counts as the thing. Then we have a letter discussing a payment of $100,000, which suggests a certain business operation. The business of making forgeries. Ah, woo, hoo, hoo, wah, hoo, wah, hoo. No, I don't want to scream. Can we kill this man? That is all, Your Honor. Everyone, please, everyone. Can we keep this private, please? This is my story, my scoop. Forgery. That's a serious crime. Drew Misham is known as an artist these days, but there were rumors he dabbed in another kind of art. There's rumors he dabbled in another kind of art until a few years back. Another art, meaning forgery. Drew Misham was talented, all right. Talented at making precise, detailed fakes. A fake that certain criminal elements were quick to discover. Criminal elements? What? You can't seriously be talking about... Exactly, I'm talking about forging evidence. Whoa, what? The rumor started circulating 7 years ago. Did Phoenix Wright? No, but wait, what? 7 years ago. So are we to understand that this letter, this payment of $100,000 was for exactly forged evidence, nets tidy profit, end quote. Order. Why, it's like our victim was living a double life. This is my chance. So the victim had ties to the criminal world, right? He could have had plenty of enemies we know nothing about. This is my first time hearing of this criminal world. We certainly found no criminal connections when we conducted our investigation. That's the goal. But how do you explain all this money? You have to admit there's a possibility of some illegal activity here. But there is no proof tying this letter to our case. Da-ding? Our case was, and remains, simple and clean from the beginning. Only the defendant could have poisoned that mug that night. And you, of course. Hey. The only thing I poison is my pen when I'm writing reviews. And then I give them to my victims to lick. Mr. Brushel, your testimony to this point has been quite unreliable. It doesn't speak well of your reporting acumen. What are you talking about? My journalism's rock solid. Journalism's so rock solid you can stand an elephant on it, end quote. In any case, let's hear a summarized recap of your testimony. If we can ascertain the situation in that studio from the recap, the trial is over. Apollo, what's he talking about? The cross-examination showed Mr. Burchell didn't have reason or means to poison him. As long as there's no other suspects, then the killer had to be Vera, that's what. This next testimony is our last chance. Mr. Burchell, your testimony, please. The only other person in that studio that night was the defendant. It was Vera who poured the coffee. She's admitted as much herself. The only thing that touched Drew's lips during the interview was that mug. And nothing left that studio after he died. Nothing. Clearly only one could have poisoned it. The only one who could have poisoned him was his daughter. Daughter Hadley. I'm accusing him. A nice testimony. Clear, succinct, and without room for doubt. Shucks. You really think so? I believe this clarifies the situation that night. Very well. Mr. Justice, you may begin your final cross-examination. Right. I still have one card left to play. and I won't let this trial end until I use it. The only other person in the studio that night was the defendant. Press present. Ms. Vera poured the coffee. She admitted as much herself. The only thing that touched Drew's lips during the interview was that mug, and nothing left that studio after he died. Nothing! Clearly, the only one who could have poisoned him was his daughter. Second to last. Thank you. Not one thing? You sure? Yeah, sure as can be. Well, with one exception. One exception, what? Journalist Spark Brushel does interview. Leave studio, end quote. Come on. I'm joking here. It's a joke, get it? Not funny, I know. It's still, trying. Did something leave the studio that night? Why does that sound familiar? Where have I heard something like that before? Now that we've proven our witness is a comedian of sorts, I'd like to turn to our defense attorney before returning to the testimony. Do you have any idea what, if anything, might have left the studio that night? Oh, the letter. Right? Something did. Right? He sent out mail, hence why he needed a stamp.
We'll get to it.
Okay. I think one thing might very well have left the studio that night, actually. A certain something that has vanished from the crime scene. By which you mean something other than our witness. Of course. Don't tell me Vera Misham. Believe me, any comic relief I may provide is entirely unintentional. Then, let's see what you've got for us. You're talking a lot. Show me what you got. And dance. Well, this thing wasn't at the scene of the crime, so I can't show it to you. But I do have evidence that shows how it could have been taken from the scene. Okay, I think I know what we're getting at. Is it the letterbox, or is it... I shouldn't know that this tiny frame had a stamp in it yet. So it's the letterbox. Yes. Sorry. This is the big flaw for me when, like, getting to a boiler point moment in Ace Attorney games where I'm like, I'm thinking 3 steps ahead because I'm like, well, clearly it was this because you could tell a postage stamp would go in there. And then I'm not thinking of Apollo hasn't figured that out yet. I have to slow down. Letterbox. This is the only link between the studio and the outside world. A letterbox. What did Mr. Brushel just tell us? When he entered the studio on the night of the murder, the victim had just finished writing a letter. Yeah, I said it, and yeah, it was true. Furthermore, you went on to tell us that he put the letter in a yellow envelope and put it in the letterbox. Aha! But that very same letterbox was empty. In other words, that night, the yellow envelope disappeared. Yes, intriguing. So an envelope had disappeared from the scene of the crime. Of course, this changes nothing. Huh? He has a point, Mr. Justice. What we're trying to figure out here is how the poison got into Mr. Misham. Is it really important that this envelope the witness says he saw... Is it really important that this envelope the witness says he saw disappeared? Well, if it did disappear, then something did leave the studio that night. It seems very important to me. Very well, then. The witness will add this to his testimony. Hey, you got it! I still think this fails to change anything, Air Forehead. I wouldn't be so sure. A letter disappeared from the crime scene that night. This is exactly the opening I've been looking for. The letter was put in the post from the studio. I think that matters. Okay. So don't do anything with the new statement?
Not yet.
What?
Yeah, you need to press on the existing ones.
The only person in the studio that night was the defendant. It was Vera who poured the coffee. She said it herself. Oh, something else touched his lips. The stamp. The stamp I shouldn't know exists. You're sure about that? Well, to be really, really precise, I was busy gobbling mint candies the whole time. I'm mint in here. One of those candies might have had the... Yet at the time of the autopsy, no fresh fragrance of mint filled the room, and no mint residue was found. Da-ding? That's a long shot. Don't tell me you're still trying to prove this. You think the victim ate, drank, or otherwise ingested something other than coffee? Well, Mr. Justice, if you have some proof, possibility's there, I can feel it, just maybe not prove it, not yet. Impossibility isn't going to cut it, not now. Mr. Misham ingested that poison via a route other than that coffee. Can I prove it now? It's so hard to follow the game logic when I'm a little far ahead. It's that frantic, I've been reading ahead of the class and I'm about to read next, so I have to run back, like flip back slowly to where we are. Yeah, popcorn reading. Yeah. Proof is possible. Here goes nothing. You do understand what we need. Proof, Air Forehead, not possibilities. Of course, and Prosecutor Gavin, I hope you understand. I'm ready to give you that proof. I'm ready to give it to you. What did you say? I have proof of the disappearing envelope. I saw him writing a letter, I did. I'm not proof? Which was picked up by the mailman, I assume. Of course. Which means that envelope had a stamp on it. Yay! I'm so wise. It's a shame I'm underappreciated in my time. That envelope had a stamp on it. A stamp! Ah! As we all know, stamps come with dried glue on the back. In order to use the glue, you have to wet it by licking the stamp. I shall now demonstrate on the prosecution. By licking the stamp. Oh my god! No one worth talking to actually licks stamps in this day and age. Even if you wanted to talk to him, you couldn't. He's dead, after all. Okay, so he licked the stamp, but wait. How does that explain the etrichnine on the rim of the coffee mug? What did he lick to get that rimming? If he licked the back of the poison stamp, the poison would get on his tongue, yes? What would then happen if he put the coffee mug to his mouth? Da-ding. Those traces on the mug weren't the killer's doing. It was the other way around. What? The coffee mug didn't poison Mr. Misham. Mr. Misham poisoned the coffee mug himself. Order. Order. But that doesn't... Does it? Wait, did I miss? No, I didn't. That doesn't, does it? Recall, if you would. Atrichnine is a slow-acting poison, yes? The poison entered his body when he put the stamp on that envelope. But his time wasn't up until the very moment he touched his lips to that cup of joe. It's a little quiet in here, and it's freaking me out. Thank you. You have something to add, Mr. Brushel. Uh-oh, his nose is picking up another scent. As I believe I mentioned earlier... Well, that's the thing, see? See? In his mind, he talks... Well, that's the thing, see? After he put his letter in that envelope, in his mind, he talks like standard. Mr. Mission sat there searching his desk drawer for something. Yeah, stamp. A so-called postage stamp. End quote, 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 quote. But you know, I don't seem to remember him ever finding one. Maybe he just run out? That happens. They say forever stamps, but you'll reach the bottom. Incidentally, we searched the desk drawer at the scene of the crime. There were no stamps. Not a single one. Ding? That does pose a problem. How will you prove that the stamp was coated with poison? Actually, I'm glad no other stamps were found. It makes proving the stamp he used was poisoned possible. Good show, good show. You can't even prove there was a stamp at the scene in the first place. Well, let's hear what the defense has to say anyway. What's your evidence that proves the existence of this poison stamp? My attorney's badge. My Magic Eras Tour ticket. It's this baby frame. Well, that certainly is a cute little frame. And by little, I mean really little. It's just a little guy. It was on the victim's desk, Your Honor. Quite empty, as you can see for yourself. I noticed that too during my inspection. So what? Apparently you weren't as observant as you should have been. You see, when you saw this frame, it was missing something quite important. Missing something? Yeah, a pale bluish stain on the inside of the frame. Atropine residue. What? Why wasn't I told about this? The frame is only 2 inches square. The face of the frame is even smaller. Maybe an inch wide at most. You aren't saying... Oh, but I am. Tell me, what fits in such a small frame? A commemorative stamp, mayhaps? The amount of fucks I give? Order! Order! The poison stamp was in this frame? I touched it. Jesus, take me to some boiling water. Impossible. But Prosecutor Gavin, why would he put something like that on his desk? Don't tell me he had it there so he could commit unalive if the mood struck. You know, can I say something? I had a thought. See, what, Mr. Brushelin? Please stop jittering around like that. The victim was a forger, right? Forger I hardly. That's a lot of money in that line of work. Forger forges friends, makes enemies too. End quote. So the poison stamp might have been a murder weapon aimed at him. Live and learn. Pay Crush 40, baby. Oh, Rich. That's rich. Leave the ridiculous flights of fancy to the Gaviner's song lyrics, please. Finally, something we agree on. The stamp was a murder weapon? Nonsense. Murder is a simple business. Who would go to such lengths? No one. Oh, I disagree. Come again? Recall, if you would, the victim's reclusive lifestyle. Drew Misham hid from the world. He avoided meetings. His only contact with the outside world was the mail. The mail? Now, if you wanted to kill someone you couldn't meet, but you knew red letters, a stamp would be the perfect weapon. Ridiculous. Where's your proof? I want proof. Show us evidence that this poison stamp was sent to him as a murder weapon. Might not have evidence, per se, but things are finally starting to come together. What is it, Apollo? Your fists are trembling. Your knees are weak. Mom's spaghetti. I think I know what happened. I don't believe it, but I can see it. I can perceive it. We go into his mind. I think I know how Mr. Misham was killed. Well, fill us in, Mr. Justice. Start with the prosecution. I'll watch. Ah. How's that for your Wattpad? A certain piece of evidence points to the truth, Your Honor. I can show you how someone with the intent to kill sent Mr. Misham the stamp of death. The frame again because there's poison on it? Right? Because the letterbox is empty? You made a sound.
It's because I understand now.
Is there something I should know about the card? Okay. You just went, Because the 7 years ago? Do that open till the time is right. Open it now. Follow. Is it one of the messages in the paintings?
No.
Because that keeps screwing with my brain.
No.
Okay. Please send a receipt once you've confirmed the transfer. Let's fucking go. Isn't this the envelope? The one from 7 years ago? Looks down the camera. Think about the text of the letter again. There were 2 pages in the envelope. This is page 1. And this is page 2. I want to draw your attention to one phrase in particular. Send in the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp within 3 days. The enclosed stamp, Your Honor. Ha ha ha. In other words, if I have this straight and gay and bi and the you know, all the stuff, ace, arrow, pain, shit. Emma hands him her flashcards from when she was studying. If I have this straight and gay, the stamp, poison on the stamp, lick, lick, gasp, end quote. That feels like choreography reminder notes that I would give myself. Stamp, poison on the stamp, lick, lick, gasp. Like that. Meow, meow, meow. Now, what if he had done exactly as the letter asked? He would sign the document, put it in the envelope, and put the stamp on it, right? Then he would put it in his letterbox. 15 minutes wouldn't have elapsed between affixing the stamp and mailing... What? 15 minutes wouldn't have elapsed between affixing the stamp and mailing the letter. But the clock started ticking, and when the time came, he drew his last breath, and the murder weapon would be taken away from the scene. Quite conveniently, thanks to the postal system. After we're done with this jury thing, we have to defund the postal system. Judge, no. Such a splendid imagination you have, Air Forehead. Let me confirm one thing with you, if I might. So this poison stamp was inside this envelope from 7 years ago, yeah? Is that what you'd have us believe? Really? But, well, is it a little bit of a stretch? It is a little bit of a stretch, but there's a possibility. Yes, a very small possibility. How small, I wonder? A poison stamp in this envelope, a stamp that then became the murder weapon. How do you intend to prove this seeming coincidence? Well, it was 7 years ago. We don't even know who sent that letter. And your answer is silence, I see. Very well. I move to... It's not nice to pick on the frown line, Clavier. What the hell are you? You're not allowed out. Oh my God, it was Emma. Did he have a flashback? Yay, Emma. That startled the shit out of me. I'm like, you're not allowed here. Get a job. Leave her alone. Emma. Well, like my mean. Oh my God, never mind. Emma's become my favorite character. That's fucking foul. Well, like my Christoph Gavin impression, did I sound like him? Don't quit your day job. Don't you have a crime scene to be looking after, Fraulein Detective? Someone had to come dig you out of all the mess you're making of this case. Mess? You know, none of this would have happened if you just trusted in science a little more. You could find out if that stamp was in that envelope easy. Care to explain yourself, Fraulein Detective? Glare at me all you want, but science is on my side. It's all in the residue, right? That's right, the poison detection spray. The what? He's spraying it in his mouth. Produce the red envelope at once. You can open it on the authority of the court. Gotta endow it with my scent. There we go. Well, that was a weird... It took a minute to, like, load it. Well, would you look at that? No mistaking it. That's atrachinine residue. I don't believe it. A murder weapon from the past. Take it back to the place where you know it all began. Or no. Back to the past, like Samurai Jack. No? I don't remember the lyrics to the Samurai Jack theme. Just I remember the bam ba ba. Back to the past, Jack. A murder weapon from the past. On this journey to the past and make it home at last. Better? What is it? Hope don't fail me now. Courage don't desert me. Now, 7 years later, it bears its fangs. At last. Absolutely outrageous. Tell me why, ye. Too late, King. We already did one, but I appreciate you. Why didn't this murder take place 7 years ago? Well... Fuck you. That's why. There's one possibility. Maybe Mr. Misham figured it out. Figured what out? He realized that the person who sent that letter wanted him dead. So he sent his reply with a different stamp. And put his decisive evidence in a frame? And then used it? You don't get to say objection or hold it. You're still here. Can I make a statement here on the record? I'm exclaiming here. I Spark Razor-Tooth Brushel claim this scoop is mine. I'll pee on it. Drew Misham killed in cold blood by sender of 7-year... He's not wrong. That is a pretty dope story. By sender of 7-year-old letter, end quote, letter I hardly. No, maybe something more sufficient. Star falls after 7-year delay, end quote. Order. I see no room for further argument here, though I admit this is all coming as quite a shock. To think the murder weapon reached his mouth after 7 years. Just like my ex-wife? Stamp is ticket straight to afterlife, end quote. Uh-oh, I think the witness is a bad influence on our judge. I see no need for further debate on this matter. The sender of that letter 7 years ago could hardly have been our defendant. Apollo, I think we just won. Barry, why are you surprised, baby? We got a 100% win record. Let's go. That's all that matters in this game. Bill, you're going back to church. Here's the first game. You're starting over. You missed the point. Very well. This court finds the defendant. Wait, that's not how it works anymore. Is this the bright future of our legal system? Prosecutor Gavin. A ticket to the afterlife from 7 years ago. Tickets for Gaviner's shows are invalid after 2 weeks. It should be invalid after the day of the performance. What are you talking about? But it doesn't make sense any other way. It boggles my mind that so many people haven't noticed this. There's a fatal contradiction in Air Forehead's claim. Contradiction? A poison stamp was placed in this envelope 7 years ago, whereupon it was framed until now. If that's the case, then why would Drew Misham have done what he did? Emma explained that. He must have realized it was poisoned. Therein lies the rub. Da-ding. 7 years ago, the forger Drew Misham sensed a trap and put the stamp in a frame. I do not debate this, but this begs the question, why 7 years later did he use the stamp on the night of the murder? That's what I was saying, King. Surely you don't mean to suggest that Mr. Misham simply forgot. He put the murder weapon in a frame on his desk for 7 years and then forgot? You expect us to believe he sprang the trap on himself? Screams. While I admit this is all quite shocking myself, it does seem highly unlikely that he would fall afoul of a trap that had been sitting on his desk for 7 years. Apollo, I don't think we're winning anymore. I'm glad to see we're all back in the real world now. Welcome back to reality. Oop, there goes gravity. We've been waiting for you. Okay, then how do you explain the poison stamp that was in this envelope? The poisoned stamp? Where exactly is this poisoned stamp again? Have you brought it to court for us? I see no proof that such a thing ever existed. What about the atrachinidine residue, huh? Oh, I agree. That does seem to be atrachinidine residue. But, Air Forehead, it's certainly no stamp. Yeah. Even if your precious poison stamp did exist, Drew Misham never would have used it. That is all. Whimpers to himself a little. I believe we've come to a conclusion. Again. Apollo, were we wrong the whole time? I can't believe it. But the third bill never misses. The poison traces match up. It can't be a coincidence. I'd like to bring some closure to this issue sometime this year. Mr. Justice? Yes, Your Honor? Let's review the facts and see where we stand. 7 years ago, Drew Misham received a red envelope. There were traces of the poison atrachinidine on the document inside that envelope. A similar trace was also found at the crime scene. On this tiny picture frame, the defense had indicated the possibility of a yellow envelope, an envelope that left the scene of the crime with the poison stamp on it. Yes, but even if this envelope contained a poison stamp, and Drew Misham, knowing this, put it in a frame, he never would have used that stamp. I'm afraid you're right, which means there's a fatal flaw in the defense's case. A fatal frame? I got my copy of Fatal Frame, Made of Blackwater, in the mail today. I'm very excited. Which means this is a fatal flaw in the defense's case. I haven't been on the wrong track this whole time. I'm sure of it. The traces of atrachinidine, the envelope, the frame, and Drew Misham's mysterious death. They're all connected somehow. Well, Mr. Justice, do you have a conclusion for us? The defense stands by its case, Your Honor. We've seen that the logical outcome of the evidence makes no sense, which means that one of our clues must be a fake. A fake clue. Fascinating. And if we find this fake, your wild fantasies will prove quite reasonable, yeah? The fake clue that's thrown us off the poison's trail is none other than... Looks like you have to take the back part off to put a photo inside. I'd have to be a really small photo to fit in there. True, and that pale bluish stain. Why would there be poison on something like this? Well, there's one obvious reason. Whoever put poison in the coffee... This is something I should have done a long time ago. Whoever put poison in the coffee rubbed a bit on here, too. That's not very obvious, Trucy. Damn. Or the letter. I feel like the letter. That's really tough because wasn't his specialty was forging evidence? Would that make... Wait, if he was forging evidence, would Drew just be the answer? Why won't you look at me when I need help? The victim was a fake clue? I'm afraid I don't understand. Yes? The music stopped, but they could be yelling at me. Yes? Yes? Let's go. You can't shrug and then nod. Okay, let's go. I'll explain. We have an envelope, a frame, and a mug linked by poison. That all makes sense. What doesn't make sense is the victim himself. Congratulations, you've completely lost me. So the fake evidence is none other than the master of fake himself, the forger. It makes a good story, I'll give you that. The fake clue. Fakes. Forgeries. Farts.
Why did you say that?
Because I think someone in the audience for my live show farted, so we're going to have to start this all over. I know that face. That's the I just had an idea face. I don't know if I'm right, but I'm going with it anyway. What if our forger is the fake? Come again. 7 years ago, our forger sniffed a trap and stepped aside. 7 years passed. Now the forger stumbles into that very same trap and dies. Why? That's what I want to know. Because the forger who was killed was a fake. Here we are again. The victim was a fake? One forger smelled the trap. One forger fell into the trap. That's two forgers. And one of them was a fake. And I want the forgers to kiss one day. 6 by Family Reference Bill. So true, King. Base take. Peak. Order. 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 So you were telling us that Drew Misham, the victim, was a fake? This is not what I thought I was picking at all. I'm glad I was right. I thought he's fake as in, like, he forged all of it. What if he was the fake? Well, if he was the fake, who was the real forger? You better not be claiming there was some kind of switcheroo. I'm afraid you're going to have to back up your story. Mr. Justice, show us who the real Drew Misham was. Drew Misham wasn't the real forger. There's only one other person it could have been. Understood, Your Honor. Forger Drew Misham was himself a forgery. The real forger was the defendant? But she would have... Oh, because it was fake evidence, so it doesn't matter how old she would have been 7 years ago. Yeah, if the envelope was fake, then... Because I was about to say, but she'd be 12 then, but that's not relevant. The Dark Magician. Yeah, I get... Yeah. Yeah. She also instantly gave us her business card when she found out we were a defense attorney. There can only be one explanation, really. The real identity of the forger known as Drew Misham is none other than his only daughter, Vera Misham. Order. Order. Mr. Justice, this is going out on a limb even for you. I kind of agree. I mean, Vera, a forger... Was I wrong? Vera, a forger? Let's consider it before you write it off entirely. If you look at the paintings in the studio, one fact becomes quite clear. Forgery had been taking place in that studio for quite some time. The forger wasn't caught in that trap 7 years ago. This can only mean that the one who was caught in the trap wasn't the forger. Or, so... Then she has been doing it since she was 12? Well, actually, that does make a certain kind of sense. One more thing. Only 2 sets of fingerprints were found in the forger's studio. Drew Misham's and Vera Misham's. If we know that Drew Misham wasn't the forger, that leaves only one possibility by process of elimination. The forger was Vera Misham. Well, fascinating. Vera Misham, you've been paying attention to the trial so far. Let's just ask her and be done with it, shall we? Who are you? Who is the forger, Drew Misham? Ding. Was that an expression of emotion I saw on her face? She's staring holes into Prosecutor Gavin's face. Why is she looking directly at me? That's unnerving. I'm used to being stared at by frown lines, believe me, though they usually talk to me too. Tell us, were you the one who forged those works of art? Since you were 12? Yes. Ding. So the forger, Drew Misham, was you. Yes, it was me. Oh, it's a crying boy. That's sad. Yes, it was me. What? What? Ladies don't commit crimes. It's like, oh my god, I'm glad we're replacing the judge. The court was in an uproar and it wasn't coming down. We had to break for a 10-minute recess. Oh my god. I'm assuming, do we have enough time, you think, to finish the next part?
I think so, because it's a little bloop, and then...
Oh, okay, it's a little chunky. Okay, let's just do that then. I was going to say, we're going through all of day one at a good pace.
The
Okay.
estimate's 15.
So, for me, it's really like 35. I like to have fun and read and talk, and sometimes I stumble on my words. Like, share, donate, comment, join. Okay. So where exactly does this leave us, Apollo? Well, the Drew Misham who was killed wasn't Drew Misham the forger, basically. Huh? Well then, who was he? Well, he was actually that hand doing her nails. Wait, what? So you really made those forgeries? Yes, for Father. I know it was wrong. Could you tell us how it happened? My father was a painter. I loved painting ever since I was a child. One day, Father saw it in me. He saw that I had the talent. The talent for making forgeries? How should I say it? It was not only paintings I made. Given the materials, I could make anything. Anything? Anything. Father was so proud and I so happy. But in the end, I was making those forgeries. I've never had a good constitution nor personality. I know very little of the world outside my door. Now, because of me, Father is. Do you know about this red envelope? I remember that envelope. It was some time ago. So you were already you were already creating your works back then? I started when I was only 12 years old. So the one who figured out the stamp was poisoned. That was... Mr. Justice, it's time. To the courtroom, please. Right. Out of time. Damn. Maybe one day we'll have a full conversation with our defendant. With our client. Wait, Vera, just one more thing, please. Those 3 paintings in the studio. I painted those as part of my work. Right. See, we checked them out and we saw what was underneath. We saw the rough sketches underneath the 3 finished paintings. It's been bothering the third bill for about an hour and a half now. I see.
Mr. Justice,
Yes?
Father, he knew of you. Of both of you.
Your late father?
He was watching, gathering information,
Chad, am I the painter?
all about the...
Reading it makes me feel like I'm home again.
all about the Wright & Co. law offices.
But lately we're not doing just law.
Yes, you do tricks, gags to amuse, and play piano.
Well, they're not really gags.
Yet, when Father heard you had resumed the legal business, how pleased he was.
Who was Mr. Misham? How am I supposed to know? What if he was Daddy's daddy? Judging from the relative ages involved, I'd say it's highly unlikely. Things are always confusing enough with all these daddies running around. Fucking me. That theme was really good, too. Did that start for the whole conversation, or just when she said Wright and Co? It's nice. It's very, like... It's like serene surreal. We know that the victim's daughter, Vera, was the forger. What does this mean for the case? Guess we're about to find out. Court is now back in session. Vera seems pretty tense. She's practically chewing her fingernails clean off. Gross. And also, your father, guardian, just died from hand poisoning, so knock that off. Perhaps you could begin by telling us how it all worked. How did you set up this Drew Misham forger persona?
I started a DeviantArt account, and then things just got out of hand.
There's that stare again. She's drilling more holes into his head. I know it's hard for you, but hey, he's a handsome guy. And if you don't make your move, someone else will. What's hard? Heh. Gross. Very well. Miss, if you would. Did you really make those detestable forgeries?
Ding.
Perhaps you'd rather answer my question. Were you the one who painted that painting? That remarkably similar one?
Yes. I painted it, yes. Father praised me quite highly for it.
So she was the one who made the forgeries. Yet she did not wish to reveal the truth of their operation. So the victim was a stand-in, a decoy. To the world at large, he was the forger, not her.
I've done a bad thing. I have, haven't I?
Regardless, we need a little more information. About, for instance, this. Ding. You have seen this before, yeah?
Yes, it was in the desk drawer.
Oh my god. Doing that voice makes me belchy. I'm so sorry. Very well. You may proceed with your testimony. Tell us everything you know about this envelope. That's as far away from the microphone as I can move my head without, like, smacking the microphone or, like, slamming my head into the floor. I hope that was far enough away. Forgive me. By donating and becoming a member. The red envelope.
I created things and Father sold them. This envelope came after my first work. That was other than a painting. Father handled the deal, all of it. I received the stamp that was in that envelope. It was after that job that we moved to the current studio.
There certainly was much of great interest in your testimony. Not that the witness realizes it. Very well, please begin the cross-examination. Right, okay. I need more information about this forger, this Drew Misham. Is this a press everything? Yeah. That's always good to know. Thank you.
I created things and Father sold them.
So these things you were making, You mean paintings identical to other paintings, right?
Well, first I started making Princess Diana beanie babies. The closer they were, the happier father was. I was happy too.
Still, you're quite young now. When did you begin this work?
My first painting sold when I was 12.
Damn, yeah. Okay. Your Honor, she had no idea what she was doing was illegal. Easy there, little attorney. You're not here to defend her for the crime of forgery. True. Please, tell us more about this envelope. This envelope that may very well have killed your father. Bam, bam, bam. It's like holding a little knife.
All right. This envelope came after my first work that was other than a painting.
By other than a painting, you mean you'd only done paintings up to that point?
Yes. But Father had a realization. He noticed my talent extended to making things other than paintings.
For instance?
For instance, a letter someone had written, or a fingerprint left upon a cup, or a signature on a document, a seal upon a letter.
None of this makes her sound very innocent at all. And the $100,000 promised in this letter was the start, the beginning of a new industry for Drew Misham. A new industry. The creation of items to be used in criminal proceedings. Forging evidence, in other words. Ruh-roh.
Father handled the deal, all of it.
So you didn't know how the things you were making were being used?
I enjoy painting very much.
I think I understand. The Fraulein has lived in an unusual little world. Can you tell us what happened to the papers that were in this envelope?
Father signed them and sent them back, I believe.
Did he follow the instructions? Send in the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp? This is a rather important matter. Give your answer some thought.
I received the stamp that was in that envelope.
What do you mean you... Oh, did he have her make a forgery? That'd be kind of cool. What do you mean you received it?
Did I do something wrong?
You didn't use that stamp because it was dangerous, correct? Deadly poison on the back. Atropine, you mean? A moment, Air Forehead. Ding. You can't force an answer upon the witness. Now then, perhaps you would tell me, Fraulein Vera. Why did you receive this stamp? Is something wrong?
It was beautiful.
Ah, you mean it was one of those commemorative stamps?
Yes, I think it was. Of Betty White.
That's the new commemorative stamp. That just rest in peace. F in the chat for Betty White. So you didn't know about the poison? I guess not. So the trap failed by chance, by mistake, thanks to the commemorative stamp. Quite the close call.
It was after that job that we moved to the current studio.
You mean you moved to where the current Drew studio is?
Yes, we saw very few people there. I began drawing picture books.
This single job had tied them to the criminal underworld. I'd think Mr. Misham wished to reduce their visibility in the world at large.
When we had to meet someone for some reason, Father posed as the creator of the work.
So that was the real essence of the artist, Drew Misham. You did the work and he supplied the face.
Yeah.
So, you really didn't know anything, did you? You had no idea how much danger you were in. Apparently not. About this commemorative stamp, could you tell us more about it?
It was very pretty, and more than that,
Yes.
it was a picture of people I liked at the time.
Ding. This is something new. Apparently, we've got some cross-examination yet ahead of us. If you would be so kind as to continue your testimony, Fraulein.
The stamp was a picture of my favorite.
Magicians. So I kept it. Magicians?
I love mysterious things.
Oh, she's not like the other girls. Let's go.
I love mysterious things. I always have.
Even though she fainted when she saw Mr. Hat. You're confusing mysterious with freaky.
Father took me when I was very young. It was a great magic show. I loved it so much.
See, isn't magic great? Applaud. Applaud, everyone. Fine, great. Yeah, sure. No need to get all excited. Man, Apollo is mean.
But the magic troupe we saw disbanded soon after. I was quite sad.
Did she just say what I think she said? Magic troupe. Where have I heard that before? The red envelope came after she completed her first job. That makes it a letter from her client. Whoever wanted a forgery made. Apollo. We're close. We just have to piece to... Oh, she made the fake will? She has something to do with the magic chicanery. We're close. We just have to piece together the parts. A deadly weapon in a red envelope, and the path it took to take Drew Misham's life. This is the only new one. The stamp was a picture of my favorite magicians. Am I presenting? I was like, did I miss one? Thank you. Was this what you forged? Was this your card? That's why it was in a tiny frame? I'm not sure what. Can I have a hint? There's only two things that have to do with the magicians. This was the first thing that I went, I think it's this, and you just shook your head. Really? How do you figure that? Why is he still holding it like it's a gun? Those magicians you liked. Was it this bunch? Apollo, they're not a bunch. I see. Still, I have to wonder. Why include a commemorative stamp like that in a business letter? Good question. Well, pretty stamps are always better, and you can't beat Troop Grandmarye. But the whole murder plan was a failure because of it. Ironic, don't you think? Prosecutor Gavin? Prosecutor Gavin? Prosecutor Gavin? Buddy? Prosecutor Gavin? Yeah, Squidward? Yeah, Gavin? Yeah, Gavin? Yeah, Gavin? Grandmarye. What's with Gavin? Oh my god, he has a fear of magicians. Might I ask just one question of this witness? In your testimony just now, you stated this was your first work that was other than a painting. Fuck, she's the one who cost Mr. Wright his career. Please, tell me. What exactly did you make?
Can I ask why?
No. Answer the question. Now.
Eh.
It's a little hot. Prosecutor Gavin, you're usually not the one whose volume concerns me. Yes, it is unbecoming of me. I apologize. But I must know, please, Miss Misham. Tell me. I kind of almost gave him a kingpin moment. Please, Miss Misham, tell me.
It was a book. A single page in a book.
A book? Please be more specific.
It was a handwritten book, like a diary.
Oh, we broke him. He's gonna need a kiss to put him back together again. No, I don't. Sorry, I didn't read it out loud. We all felt it. I would argue you don't need the dialogue box there. What's with Prosecutor Gavin? He looks like he just saw a ghost. Miss Misham, this book... Was there a picture of a silk hat on the back cover, yes or no?
Ding. How did you know?
Prosecutor Gavin, the defendant is answering all your questions. Stop badgering her. He's told you nothing, has he? Your soiled, sullied mentor. Nothing? Sullied what? Who? Phoenix Wright. Who else? Daddy? He never told you about the trial 7 years ago? About how he came to lose his attorney's badge? Ding. It was a certain piece of evidence that decided his fate, you know. A certain diary. On the back, it bore the mark of a silk hat. What? Fuck yeah, let's go. Phoenix Wright tossed out of the profession by false evidence, and the forger who made that evidence is this girl standing in front of me. Vera, you must tell us. The evidence you made was used in a trial 7 years ago. Who asked Drew Misham, you, to forge that evidence? For all of our sakes, who was it? If she says Miles Edgeworth, I will unplug the PlayStation.
We only met once.
You met the client? Who was it?
It was...
What's going on with Vera? She's staring at Prosecutor Gavin's face again. Christoph Gavin? Yes, what? Is there something about me?
I remember clearly. I remember who gave me the book, the diary.
Who was it? Choke? Vera? Oh, from earlier.
The
Devil. That's kind of metal. What the fuck? Defendant Vera Misham, condition unconscious. Examiner's diagnosis, acute No! Because she was biting her nails? What? Someone poisoned her? This ends the recording of the trial for the murder of Drew Misham. What? None of this is real. I'm stuck in the Matrix. Help, help, help. It just cuts to freaking Prosecutor Gavin just looking at you like this. Now that we're alone. I love you. The you behind the monitor. This ends the recording of the trial for the murder of Drew Misham. Vera Misham was, during the trial, poisoned by an unknown assailant. The dosage was just under the lethal amount, sparing the defendant's life. But it did blind her. Oh, sorry. She's currently in intensive care. I was making a reference. She's currently in intensive care and is not to be disturbed for any reason. A very simple case at first glance, until it finally began to show its true colors, TM. Ah, almost missed it. The long road to the truth takes us to the record of another trial. You realize it's been a year. Because we played Ace Attorney Investigations Collection. It's been a year. In some ways, that was the starting point of it all. Oh no. Great. They kept him hot. And that is where we must go. Oh, she's just a baby! To find the whole truth. Please don't fucking Swiss rolls me. What a great place to stop. Oh my god. See, if we had more members, donations, subscribers, and viewers, we'd be going all night. To prove it all night. Oh my god. I loved that. See, that's the shit I miss. And I get it, like it's a little different, but like I miss being this wrapped up in the characters, and I think seeing Phoenix Wright in his standard variant accelerated everything so nicely. Caitlin, thank you for donating 20 at thethirdbill.com. Thank you, Caitlin. Oh. It doesn't look like there's a message. Was there a message? Are you here, Caitlin? Caitlin, psst, psst. This happens every time, but I'm like, are you here? I also have been looking at chat too much tonight. Thank you, Caitlin, for the donation. It's like finally hitting that point where, seeing Phoenix again was super nostalgic and trippy. I'm still sitting here partially for my own fanfic headcanon reasons, wondering what Edgeworth has to say about all this. But like it hit nicely seeing him and then seeing little Trucy. I'm worried it was like a diary with a silk hat. I'm like, what if it was Trucy's diary as a kid? Because she said something about diaries at the top of this. I'm always here lurking. No worries, Caitlin. No worries. Thank you for the donation. What was his name? I'm worried that it was like her diary that was like changed and forged that screwed up everything. So it could be, the implication earlier was that like Phoenix did it to himself and he kind of took it on in that way. But I doubt he would play a 7-year long con of I sent myself fake evidence to get myself disbarred so I can change how the court system works. But I liked how that went. I liked the pacing of that pretty nicely. It's been so bizarre. Like this was the one time where it made sense not to talk to our defendant at the top. It's weird that we did that 3 times in a row now, where we don't talk to our defendant until like the trial, or if we do talk to them, it's for like a couple of minutes. But see, like that's the shit like I miss, and I understand so much the choice of like, hey, let's not rest so deeply on the previous games, the previous characters. We want this to be its own thing, but also like tie into everything. I get it. You can't have, as much as I wanted more Luke Skywalker in the Star Wars sequel trilogy, you can't start it with Luke Skywalker. It made sense to save him for part 2, even if that trilogy was a mess, but that was Disney's fault. But like, I get not wanting to. It's just because of how my brain works. There's always that part of me that's like, where is everybody? What does Edgeworth think? What's Gumshoe doing? Where's Maya? Where's Pearl? Where's Kay? Where's everybody? That part of me is really hard to like get over that obstacle. So there's almost this like relief of like, and now we're gonna get it. And also like seeing Trucy as a little girl, like, kind of tugged at my heartstrings a little bit. Like it's like we've built that really nicely. And I also liked, I think what set it up really nicely for me was how Prosecutor Gavin started like freaking out. Like I can't wait to see how he handles the fact that he might have been lied to or manipulated into destroying Phoenix Wright. I'm super curious where this is going to go. I'm like, are we going to, what's the word? Vindicate? Absolve? Are we going to resurrect Phoenix Wright, the lawyer? Again, I really like the twists in these cases a lot. I've got a lot of criticisms, but I do really like every case has had like a great twist or angle or like big reveal, little reveal kind of a thing. And I really liked that like the daughter was the one doing the forgeries. The dad it was his idea. She didn't know any better. He was running the business side of the business, right? Same thing with the kidnapping in Turnabout Corner. And even in the tutorial level, like, oh, your mentor did it. Like, I really like the twist. I'm trying to remember what was the thing that like impressed me with Serenade. Oh, the I'm not blind, she's blind. I speak the language, he doesn't, he does. Oh my god. Like we kept like moving that around, and then I liked she saw it but she didn't, and the performance and the magicry and everything. I loved all the little twists in Serenade as well. And then this one had it right there with the yes, the story reveal twist, but I like the twists in the case. Oh, this guy was making forgeries. Oh wait, it was the daughter. I really like those twists to it, because even if I can figure out little things that are coming up, those twists keep me on my toes, keep me guessing. Because, like, we've come a long way from, dude, stop showing me who did the killing. I think that was my big complaint about the first game, is it literally, I think every time but the last one, I think Farewell My Turnabout is the only time where you don't literally see who killed it. And that's kind of part of it, is you see Edgeworth holding the gun and you're like, what? Or at least I was. You know what I mean? So we've come a long way from, well, they already told me who did it. Now I guess the puzzle is figuring out how to convict them. I really like the twists in these cases a lot. I'm hoping, I'm very excited to see the 7 years ago lore set up. I'm hoping we get a couple more cameos, because if we're going to cut back 7 years ago, excuse me, I'd assume, since Gavin has to be the prosecutor, I'd assume Gumshoe, because you can't have the You can't have Edgeworth. You can't have Franziska. Because unless they're witnesses or some shit. But like, I'd like someone, Maya. Oh, can you imagine if Maya was there for that shit? I'd like Maya or Gumshoe. Somebody to be a part of the flashback. I'm trying to think of who else. Larry, maybe. I'd like there to be more characters in the flashback, but I don't want it to be distracting. But I don't know. I'm super excited to see those stories converge, and yeah, I don't like a lot of other parts in the writing in the previous cases, especially, you know, the gross one. But I really like the writing in the mystery, the crime writing in these. I like incorporating other crimes. I'm still desperately craving an Ace Attorney case where it's not about murder. We almost had that twice now. But I really like that. Like that set it up really nicely. Seeing Prosecutor Gavin like start to like really lose his mind. I'm like, wow, like he's become more of a character than Apollo Justice. And that's a bit of a bummer. Cause like Apollo doesn't have that much of like a history with anybody quite yet. So he's more of the audience stand-in as opposed to like, oh, how does Phoenix know Edgeworth? What does that mean? You know, like it. I'm waiting for that detail, and I'm hoping we're gonna get a little bit more of that here. But I really liked him freaking out, like the fact that he can remember every detail about the piece of evidence that Phoenix Wright forged, quote unquote. And then the fact that he was like your sullied, gross little mentor, like he was like really like losing it, and everyone took notice of it. I really liked that moment. It told me that this impacted more than just Phoenix Wright. I'm very excited to keep this going on Monday. This whole trilogy really nails the fun, exciting aspect of Ace Attorney perfectly. Yeah. Okay, you mean in the gameplay sense? Because for me, the fun, exciting part is I love the characters. Sometimes the investigation can be really fun too. Like the gameplay isn't the worst. But for me, it's the characters. I love Phoenix and Edgeworth's relationship. I love Gumshoe, and I love helping, by helping Maya and Pearl, like we're also kind of laying Mia's spirit to rest, or helping her unfinished business in a sense. Figuring out who we are and that the decisions that we make, and like is the goal to win, and what is the definition of winning? Is it getting the best outcome for your client, whether it's on the prosecution side representing the people or on the defense side representing the defendant, or is winning the truth? I love all those elements and seeing the characters grow, and the silly stuff. I love the hotties. I love the thotties. I love the himbos. For me, it's the characters. Like the big story, like, cause someone is watching right now, is watching my Trials and Tribulations streams, and they just got finished with the first one and was like, oh man, like, I'm so glad you liked, this is like my favorite tutorial case. This is my favorite part. And I'm like, oh yeah, the Dahlia arc, quote unquote, is very dear to me. And yeah, like feeling it all come together and everyone uniting and assembling the Ace Attorney Avengers to take down the freaking Ace Attorney Thanos. Like, oh, it was so great. I want that build up and feeling again. But even in the first game, like, helping Edgeworth, and like it felt like almost like in a sense, like by helping Edgeworth learn the truth about what happened to his father and saving him, like it had the same level of stakes as it might as well have been Phoenix's father. You know what I mean? An in-law, if you will. Like I'm waiting for that that level because they've been holding those cards pretty close to their chest, but I'm pretty excited. I just also wish I gave a shit about Apollo as much as I cared about everybody else, other than he's my character, and so I hope he's doing okay, you know. But it's weird. Like I haven't played these games for very long, but I haven't played as Phoenix Wright in a year. And I started playing as Phoenix Wright about I guess 2 years ago. Cause I guess that was like 2023. I think summer 2023. But like there was something about seeing him again in that spot. And I'm assuming through the flashback we're going to be Phoenix Wright or watch him do the animations at least. There was something about seeing that like hit me really good. But yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. Thank you for hanging out. Oh god, my mouse died because it falls asleep. I have to get a new one. I'm not thrilled about it because that's another 50 after the shipping, but it's fucking money. I'm just trying to avoid. I'm not getting a freaking magic keyboard and then the magic touch me thing. I'm not doing that. So fingers crossed. That the new one should be here Monday. Fingers crossed the new one does what it's supposed to do and does it good. They do Apollo a bit better in the later games, in my opinion. That's good. Yeah, and it's again, I think Apollo will grow, right? Because I had the thought earlier and I caught myself off because I was like, nah, like I was rooting for Phoenix pretty quick, but I think for Apollo, he's kind of swept along on the ride, you know, as opposed to getting hit with that train of like, my mentor's dead and her sister is being not only accused of murder, but like this girl is crying in front of me. I just lost my mentor. I have to figure out what the hell just happened. Like, I feel like something cataclysmic happened to Phoenix. I feel like something cataclysmic is happening around Apollo. And you know what I mean? I'm waiting for that, you know, that personal touch, right? This final case is helping our mentor, which that was the first Phoenix Wright case. I like that inverse there. Don't get me wrong. But I'm like, it feels a little different. And he's not getting excited about stuff as much, right? Like, the music's too loud. Stop liking magic. Like, he's just such a little stick in the mud, which is very endearing. But then I'm like, well, I haven't seen him happy. I haven't seen him cry. I haven't seen him angry, lose something, and how he responds to that. You know, so I'm still waiting for that from him. And that's okay. Again, this is a plus to having the HD trilogy thing, right? I know there's 2 more games with him. So I'm not like, come on, we're running out of time. I'm like, okay, yeah. We will probably learn something about you, if not at the very end of this game, in the next one. Like, that's okay. But no, like it's not the end of the world or nothing. Like I'm not upset. It's so far. I'm like, oh, Trucy. Oh my God, Prosecutor Gavin. And like, what happened with Phoenix Wright? And I'm like, oh yeah. And Apollo, are you hydrated? Like I haven't gotten to that point with Apollo, and that's okay. I'm really enjoying this so far. And I think finally one of these cases is moving at the right pace for me. Cause I would have really dreaded too long of an investigation or even too long of a trial. Like that was a really good pace of like, here's what's going on. Wait, it's connecting. Uh-oh, are we going to talk about it? Oh my God, we're going to talk about it. I'm really enjoying the pace of this so far. He's a lot more interesting in future games, but he is a tad self-inserty in this one. Well, and I think that might have been a little by design, right? Because now after being Phoenix Wright for so long, now you're looking at him going, what happened to you while I've been gone? You know, even Apollo, I think, kind of says that when he realizes who you are. It's like, wait, aren't you like the amazing defense attorney or whatever? Like, it is a little self-inserty. And that's okay. Like, I appreciate that they're at least trying different things, and it's I said this last stream. For me, I'm starting to like acquire a taste for Ace Attorney. Like, ooh, I like this, and oh, I like to put this sauce and mix it in with this thing. Oh man, I love coming here on Fridays because on Fridays they have shrimp. Like, you start to learn what you like, what you don't like. So like, it's interesting that now I've kind of acquired a taste for these formulas, and so while I'm getting like twists on things, I can appreciate it a little more. But then also I could be let down in other ways. It's interesting, but I don't know if that analogy makes sense, but it helps for my brain a little bit, where it's like I've acquired a taste. First I was just, oh my, what's going on? What's with these crazy anime hotties? Oh, ha ha, whoa. And now I'm like, yes, well, the evidence in this one seems to be a little more rattled than normal. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, I don't know. I had a lot of fun tonight. I hope you all did too. Like, share, subscribe. Again, consider donating, becoming a member if you can. Especially if you want more Ace Attorney games. We might finish this Monday. I don't know how much time is left. We're either finishing this Monday or Tuesday, but we'll be back doing more on Monday, same time, same place. And then, if these get good numbers and people seem excited and, good donations and subscribers and all that stuff, engagement, analytics, then we'll do the other two in a little bit. Regardless, I'm gonna do what I normally do and space them out. I'm sure that annoys some people or whatever, but like there's also tons of people who are like, oh, I don't really care for Ace Attorney. I'll wait until Bill's done. So I try to keep it flowing, and then also it stretches it out a little bit. It prevents a burnout feeling from a game, right? So no matter what, there will be time in between. But yeah, make some noise, smash that like, subscribe, and comment and all that. Especially if you want more. Because then also, if we were to finish the Apollo Justice trilogy, there's still Ace Attorney Chronicles, and then I'm ready. Then we can quiz me. Plus, I like doing this one for stream highlights. I'll probably do some other ones too. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough picking because I have to make the stream highlights myself. So it's like it's tough because I'm like, I don't want to like delude the story too much. So I don't know how well Slay the Princess would work as a stream compilation, but I can try. It's really good to like find the rhythm of here's a little beat to remind you where we are in the story. Joke, joke, joke. Oh my God, you're hot. Blah, 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 blah. Like, then we have to pester Capcom for new AA. Make me the ambassador. Make this trend. Make me the Ace Attorney YouTube guy. I'll go talk to him. I thought that was the plan. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. Thank you, Choose You 2 and Caitlin, for donating to thethirdbill.com. Thank you to all the channel members. Consider becoming one or donating yourself. All that money goes back into the channel. It helps me pay for games, pay off equipment, and everything else goes into bills like rent, food, electricity, internet, all that good stuff. Fingers crossed we actually get in the green this year. But remember to do all the free things too. Hitting like, leaving comments, sharing links, sharing with your friends, Discord, subreddits, all that. Watching old streams and VODs and videos on the main channel. The best way to show me, and YouTube is the biggest thing, because I can make the thing all I want. They're not going to show it to everybody. Let YouTube know, as well as myself, that Bill doing more of this is such a great idea. And yeah, like I said, we'll be back Monday, same time, same place. Possibly finishing Apollo Justice Ace Attorney, but definitely continuing the final case. Thank you, Alana, for modding. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out and clicking. Thank you again, Caitlin and Choose You 2 for donating. How was I going to say? Links in the description as always, should you or someone you don't need them. And yeah, I also have to make a little thing for the members to help me pick games. That's one of the perks. Custom build emojis, all that good crap. Thank you to everyone who's a channel member. Thank you to everyone who donated tonight. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the stream. I hope to see you next time I upload or go live. Hope everyone's doing well. Be wary if you're in a storm area right now. We're in between storms, but we're prepared just in case. But, be prepared. Yeah, be safe. Be mindful of others. Remember to take care of yourselves, please.